Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Very good morning to you. Welcome to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, live on SABC3. Welcome to it. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up on the right side of bed. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new weekend. You are starting off on the right note. Welcome to Expresso. My name is Tabiso Mokubela, otherwise your Uncle Tabzi. And we're in for a ride this morning. I mean, we've got such a jam-packed show. Every single thing from looking at the weekend sports highlights. Lots of action happening in the cricket, some rugby chats, as well as some soccer conversations as well with Jeremy Harris. We're going to be making some really interesting dishes in the kitchen as well. Hopefully to inspire you for the rest of the week, looking at some fashion inspiration in the world of entertainment as a whole. Our celebrities have been up to a lot, and we invite you to join us on this conversation, on this ride, all the way through to 9 o'clock right here on SABC3. Engage with us on social media as well, on Facebook, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, as well as at Expresso Show on Twitter. Use that hashtag throughout the show to make your voice heard using hashtag Expresso Show. Hopefully you've had a good weekend, and hopefully we're all getting into this, diving into a brand new week as we approach the end of Jan, but we're going to make it oh so good. I'm not riding solo this morning. Jamie Lee is with me. Jamie, what's happening, my gal?
Good morning, Uncle Toby. So you're not riding solo indeed. I am here today to make sure that me and you do not get into trouble today, but today is leg day. It is, of course, a Monday, the 27th of January, and if you are still looking for inspiration for that leg day, then Kutle is out in Gordons Bay with Dean Hoodman, our presenter, Search on 3 finalists, and they're going to be getting that inspiration on. But of course, if you need inspiration for what you're wearing today, and maybe the weather plays a part in that, then let's take a look at the weather conditions in Johannesburg. Now, starting off in Johannesburg, like I said, let's take a look in the major parts of the country as well for today. Now, partly sunny conditions are expected with a shower or thunderstorm throughout the day, so be prepared for heavy rainfall this week. Moving on over to Durban, a couple of showers can be seen throughout the day with cooler temperatures that range between about 19 to 23 degrees, so don't forget your umbrella and raincoats. Now, if you find yourself in the friendly city today, cloud cover has increased and cloudy conditions are expected for the entire day. Occasional sunshine is expected in the morning with a southwesterly wind that picks up towards the evening. And then lastly, the beautiful mother city seems to be heating up. Hallelujah! Partly sunny conditions are expected with pleasant temperatures that range between 15 to 22 degrees. Now, a strong southeasterly wind picks towards the afternoon. So it's going to be a beautiful day. Of course, wherever you find yourself, whichever part of the country, make sure that you yourself is bringing the sunshine. Now, today we are bringing the sunshine with Woolworths because it's a Monday morning, and the best way to get your head right and ready is to make sure that you absolutely look the part. Now, lately we've been focusing a lot on workwear and how you could elevate your style with Woolworths, and they've done it, guys, once again this morning. I'm dressed in the stunning zip detail. It's a midi dress from Studio W, and I'm actually absolutely living for this style. It's very sophisticated. When you do the arms like this, the sleeves, it gives it a nice bit of swag. And then we actually saw this last weekend for last week Thursday for Fashion Thursdays. We saw it on the model, and we tried to pair it, make it comfortable for the entire day. She had a pair of sneakers on with it, and we of course just elevating it with a nice pair of heels, and it's comfortable and the satin feel to it, sexy, and this is absolutely how we are going to take this look to the next level for this entire Monday. It's a Monday morning. You're still locked onto your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, for all the ladies out there, if you are looking for a statement piece or something chic, fashion forward, and on trek, look no further than Woolworths. Now, you can shop these looks at Woolworths in-store, online, or on the Woolworths app. Let's find out what's cooking in the kitchen.
Oh yes, Jamie Lee, elevating the looks for the gals right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. That's a beautiful satin dress. I am living it for the children. But listen, from getting the inspiration in terms of what to rock when it comes to your fashion, to getting that kitchen inspiration, Nicole Snelling, our kitchen fairy. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good. I see you've been chopping over here, chopping over there, chopping everywhere, an assortment of fruit. You got strawberries, you got mango, you got kiwis, you got lychee, as well as some lime. What are we doing this morning?
So this is just a little bit of a change up for your breakfast. Usually you have like yogurt and fruit.
Yeah.
But I thought to do something of marinating your fruit in fruit. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's an interesting
so
twist.
make a little marinade,
Yeah.
and then you let your fruit sit overnight, and
Yeah.
then instead of having like your fresh fruit in your yogurt,
Yeah.
we're gonna be using that instead, just
This
to change
is
things up.
so fantastic. You see, every single morning you've somehow managed to find these interesting ways to take what we would ordinarily have in the fridge and take it to a whole new level altogether. But if you do want to get involved with this recipe and you want to get that sent through to your phone, SMS Clover, that's the keyword Clover, to 33728, and we will SMS it straight to your mobile phone. It's very quick and easy to do. Fruits at the moment, mangoes, we know that they're in season, so just about anywhere you will be able to find them. Better yet, if you happen to find yourself in Mpumalanga and the Limpopo provinces, oh man,
Ooh, you can get
are
it off the side of the street.
in heaven. Exactly, you are in heaven and you can get it off the side of the street. But that keyword, once again, is Clover to 33728, and we will send it straight to your phone.
Send it through to the phone. But of course, today we're thinking all things pink. We're talking about love, and of course it's a Monday, so we're talking all things relationships. Now, maybe you are one of those people that gives advice. Maybe you are those person that receives advice, and that's what we want to discuss today. So connect with us on our social media. We're asking you, most of us think that we are love gurus, but what's the worst relationship advice you've ever given or received? Hashtag Expresso Show. So make sure to connect with us on all social media platforms on Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, and of course use that all-important hashtag Expresso Show. Tell us what you've received. Tell us maybe what you've given. Maybe you're single and you're always the person that's trying to give the tea, trying to give advice. We want to hear from you. But now let's get into the world of news with Uncle Tabsy.
Thank you very much, Jamie Lee. Let's start here in South Africa. The National Institute for Communicable Diseases, together with the Department of Health, have developed and distributed clinical guidelines for doctors and nurses in the health sector to detect and respond to the deadly coronavirus should it be spreading to South Africa. At least 56 people have died from the virus in China, and more than 1,000 have been infected globally since cases were first reported in the city of Wuhan in China last month. Police have seized counterfeit goods to the value of 5 million rand following a multidisciplinary operation in shops around the Durban CBD. 5 people, including an undocumented foreigner, were arrested. The seized items included fake cosmetic products and cigarettes. KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Kombinkosi Jula has warned that people should be careful that they, for instance, don't buy fake creams that can damage their health or pay an amount that is not worth the product that they are actually buying. In international headlines, the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization has called for international help to fight huge swarms of desert locusts sweeping through East Africa. Ethiopia, Kenya and Somalia are all struggling with unprecedented and devastating swarms of the food-devouring insects, threatening their food security. The UN fears numbers could grow 500 times by June. Locusts can travel up to 150 kilometers in a day and eat their own weight in food each day. Rescue teams are working non-stop and have already pulled some 50 people from collapsed buildings, Turkey's disaster authorities said yesterday. The death toll from a powerful 6.8 earthquake in the country's east rose to at least 35. Rescuers operating in sub-zero temperatures are using mechanical diggers and their bare hands to continue the search for survivors. The country has a history of powerful earthquakes. In 1999, some 17,000 people were killed, and in 2011, more than 500 people. And in your feel-good news, when the local NSRI crew at Stress Bay received reports of what was thought to be a dolphin injured in the harbour, they immediately responded. However, they did not find a dolphin on their arrival, but rather a layered-beaked whale beaching outside the harbour. The whale appeared to be weak, explained Reynard Geldenes, NSIR Agala Station Commander Chris Wilkinson of the Whale Unit at Pretoria University's Mammal Research Institute, who happened to be in Stress Bay at the time. And NSRI rescue swimmers guided the whale through the surf line to deeper water before it was further escorted by a boat. Geldenes said that they were cautiously optimistic that the whale had survived, as patrols carried out by the NSRI crew on Saturday revealed no sign of it. And taking a glimpse of what's happening in the world of entertainment, shocking news coming from the States as the world reels from the tragic death of retired American NBA star Kobe Bryant. He has, or rather was killed when his his private helicopter crashed into a hillside in the Calabasas in California. Now, the retired LA Lakers alumnus was accompanied by his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, who has unfortunately lost her life. He was 41 years old, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. We will be unpacking this development later on during the show. That's where we leave it for now with the news. We'll be back a little bit later on. And now a look at your sports. We start off with the world of rugby, where South African rugby has confirmed Jaco Niebuhr as the new head coach for the Springboks. And Rugby World Cup winning coach Rassie Erasmus has been named the director of rugby. In the Rugby Sevens, the New Zealand Sevens, men's and women's teams claimed their second consecutive gold medals at the HSBC World Rugby Sevens Series after the men's team beat France 27-5 and the women recorded a 24-7 win over Canada. That was yesterday. In cricket, stumps on the day 3 of the fourth and final test between South Africa and England. They saw the visitors set up a 466-run target for the Proteas at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg. Staying with cricket, on Saturday, the South African women's cricket team claimed an emphatic 7-wicket win over hosts New Zealand in the first one-day international that happened in Auckland. In netball, the South African netball team suffered a narrow 63-65 third-place playoff loss to hosts England in the Vitality Netball Nations Cup. While 2019 Netball World Cup winners New Zealand, they beat Jamaica 67-56 to win the trophy. And in basketball legend Kobe Bryant, of course, we did mention earlier, has been killed in a helicopter crash. This happened in the Calabasas in California. Now, Bryant was a 5-time NBA champion, and he played his entire 20-year career with the LA Lakers. His 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, was also on board the helicopter, and 9 people were killed, not 5 as initially reported. That's where we leave it for now. Here's a look at your weather.
Thank you so much, Tabi. So it's a beautiful Monday morning, and we've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Now, Nancy Govender sent us this amazing sunrise from Umkomas in KZN, where partly sunny conditions can be expected with a touch of evening rain and cooler temperatures reaching a maximum of 24 degrees. Estelle Jumat sent us this incredible sunrise picture from George, where mainly cloudy conditions can be expected with a southerly wind reaching a maximum of 20 degrees. Let's take a look at the rest of the country. Starting off in Polokwane with a low of 16, peaking at 28. Now, thunderstorms can be expected for you, Polokwane. If you find yourself in Umbumbela, heavy rainfall is expected, ranging from 16 to 23 degrees. Pretoria, 32 degrees. Now, high humidity can be expected for Johannesburg with a low of 15 and a maximum of 30. Mahikeng, 31. Klerksdorp, 30. If you find yourself in Kimberley, it's also 30. Bloemfontein, a low of 10, reaching a maximum of 28 degrees today. Now, a couple of showers can be expected for you, Richards Bay, with an all low of 18 and a maximum of 24 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, 22, and a southwesterly wind of 22 kilometers per hour can be expected for you, Durban, ranging from 19 to 25 degrees. Mthatha, 23, and a southwesterly wind coming through for East London, ranging from 15 to 22 degrees. Cradock, 25, and high humidity can be expected for you, Port Elizabeth, ranging from 14 to 22 degrees. If you're out in George, 12 and 20 is your temperature for today. Now, the lowest temperature in the country, as always, can be found in Sutherland with an all low of 8, peaking at 24 degrees. The beautiful mother city, Cape Town, is 15.21, Worcester 10.26, Springbok 14.31, and as always, the highest temperature in the country can be found in Uppington with an all low of 16, peaking at 33. It's a beautiful day out there. Whatever the weather, wherever you find yourself, make sure it's a feel-good kind of day.
Oh, yes, and a feel-good type of day we will make it. Thank you so much for dialing into SABC3 and hanging out with us here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So we've decided in studio here to paint the country pink, as it were. And so every bit of information that we're coming through with has a bit of a pink element in terms of inspiration coming through as well. So when we look at our quote for the day today to get us started into a brand new week, this quote had to come from the singer-songwriter who's managed to break boundaries in her career, starting her career from an early age of 16 and going on to be a multi-award-winning musician. I'm talking about Pink, everybody. Jamie Lee, do you know Pink?
I love
We
your
love
what?
Pink. I mean,
I am a rock star.
oh, yes.
I got the rock moves, and I don't need you
tonight.
Oh, yes, baby. Get in there. Well, she's had quite a lot of quotables, right, for us over the years. I mean, she's had such an illustrious career. She's inspired so many people. She's had some powerful messages coming through in her songs, inspiring body positivity, inspiring women standing together.
Yes.
She's all about that power. You've got a quote for us from her this morning.
I do, and I love it, actually. She says, to experience the good, you have to have seen the bad. Plus, it makes you appreciate blessings more. Tough times taught me to be a fighter.
I love it.
I mean...
I love it. And it's straightforward. It's straightforward. It just says sometimes you don't look at the difficult times and the tough times in your life and write yourself off. Sometimes you pick yourself up and you learn from the mistakes and the lessons of those tough times to be able to rise above all of that and just fly.
Love that.
In December, I think I saw a video that went viral on social media. There was a guy standing next to the pool. He's like, tough times never last, but tough people do. So on that note, hopefully that inspires you to be a tough person that learns from the tough times and soars. We'll see you after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso live on ABC3. Time for us to delve into the world of sports. It was a weekend to forget, sadly, for our national teams. We're talking about the Proteas men's team stumbling against England in the final test. We saw the Spar Proteas also going down to England in the Vitality Netball Nations Cup. And, of course, our Blitzbox providing an under-par performance at the Hamilton 7. Sports anchor Jeremy Harris is here to firstly take us through all of the rugby action over the past 2 days. But also, before we do that, rather, before we go into delving into some cricket and netball results. And yes, Jeremy, indeed, a weekend to rather forget.
Yes, yes. I'm glad the weekend is over. We can work towards the next weekend and an improved performance. Tabisa, I mean, let's look at the Blitzboks performance particularly. We've become used to, maybe they've spoilt us over the last few years, where the kind of performance they delivered this past weekend at the Hamilton Sevens was just really, as you say, below par. Very disappointing by their own high standards, by the expectations of the fans back home. Yeah. So we're going to want to forget that in a hurry. The reality is that I think that it is so formulaic that they will identify those areas. They've got a week to get it together because Sydney Sevens is
coming up.
Is what, 6 or 7 days away, so you've got to pull your socks up very quickly.
Yeah.
But New Zealand winning the tournament, which of course gives them a little bit of daylight between ourselves and themselves. South Africa still second, very much in the running. It's early days. We just don't like this kind of result.
Yeah. So we know that in rugby news, for example, we're seeing that the new Springbok coach has been revealed and announced, with Rassie Erasmus sort of stepping into a renewed role.
Correct, yes. I'm very happy to see Jacques Nienaber take that role as the Springbok head coach. What I like about it is that there's not then too much change at the top of the coaching management team.
Yeah.
He's been in the mix for quite a long time. He's worked alongside Rassie for many years.
Yeah.
The two of them are comfortable with each other. They've got a good working relationship, so good that in fact they brought back the World Cup.
Of course.
I'm very comfortable that the disruption to game plans and to just the way that the team operates will be minimal.
We'll see a nice smooth transition there, which is really good just for change over. But when we look at the Hamilton Sevens, the rugby sevens, that happened.
Yes.
Pool B, South Africa against Japan there.
Yes. Look, I mean, we walked away with that first win, and I think everybody expected to win. And when we came away with a convincing, I think it was 31-5 win against Japan, we were going, oh well, it's going to be another good performance for the Blitzboks, but not to be. We fell off the bus and we lost 3 in a row. And as I say, I think Neil Powell will be an unhappy man for the next few days, but you know, he'll get the team back on track.
What was the action like in the women's finals?
Look, I think that's a really nice sort of introduction from World Rugby to introduce the women's sevens alongside the men's sevens, to see that and to give it the kind of profile that it deserves. So you know, once again, particularly the New Zealand team's looking good again. Yeah.
Here's one that I've actually been tracking quite closely.
Okay.
The Pro 14 rugby.
Wow.
Jeremy.
Look at you. Pro 14 rugby is getting very exciting. Yeah. And it was very, very exciting this past weekend when the Kings played against the Cheetahs.
Yes.
The Cheetahs looked like they were definitely going to lose. They were 30-12 down at one stage. It was all over. The Kings had this game sewn up, only for the Cheetahs to come back and win 31-30. And it was an important result for the Cheetahs because it kept alive their playoff hopes. But I mean, 31-30, doesn't matter who the teams are, is an exciting game.
Yes, and it's quite close as well.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's just like nail-biting stuff over there. Well, listen, we're going to be tracking some more of the sporting action. I'm so happy to have you here this Monday. What a way to start the week. Why don't you weigh in on this conversation? Let us know what you've thought of the games. I mean, of course, yes, we'd rather forget this weekend and put it behind us. But any of your sentiments, share those with us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, with that hashtag Expresso Show.
And maybe you need motivation to get out of bed today. Now, we are focusing on leg day today. Our very own Kusla Adams is out with Dean Woodman, presenter search on 3 finalists in Gordons Bay, where they'll be giving you exercises for that legs. Are you ready? Because here they are.
Go. A very good morning to you, South Africa. A very good morning to you, my Expresso family. This is Kusla Adams reporting for duty live all the way from Gordons Beach. I'm not alone. I'm joined by 2019 presenter search contestant Dean Woodman.
What's
hey,
up,
how are you doing?
Good.
So this big man over here is going to be showing us a few leg workouts, leg exercises, leg day. Do not miss leg day. We're going to be toning our thighs, our calves, and our glutes. But we're not alone. We're joined by a group of people who's going to be joining us for today's workout. I'm ready. How are you guys doing? All good. We're all prepped and ready now, Dean. Before we get into it, I know that you've done surfing before, especially during presenter search on 3.
Let's say attempt, right?
You attempted to surf.
I attempted surfing. These guys know what to do, but that was a...
They are the pros.
Yeah.
But we're going to chat to them a little later on. But have you surfed ever since then?
I've tried on 3 occasions.
And?
It was all the same. Exactly the same.
But when you fall, you get back up, right?
100%, just like with leg day, right? But
Yeah.
we're not falling today, okay?
No, we're not. I have no injuries
No
today, I
injuries?
promise. Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm all set. But then how is surfing a way of working out your legs as well? You know what I mean?
Surfing is intense. I mean, getting up and you've got to use your core. And the problem that we forget with surfing is you want to stand up straight.
Yes.
And I forget it every time. You know, you got to actually stay down and get low.
Yeah.
So legs can definitely help you with that because the more your glutes, your quads and get stronger, and your abs get stronger, the better you'll be able to surf.
Okay, cool. So I'm ready to start working out, okay? So which exercise are we going to start
Right.
with?
So we're gonna do the squats. Different variations of squats, but
Yeah.
we're gonna do what they call bar squats first.
Okay.
Then we're gonna open up shoulder width, toes pointing out. We're gonna get nice and low, hands in front, and a bar squat with a little bit of a movement like this. And we go 1, 2, hey, there we go.
Hey!
Okay, we keep
I wish
it-
we had some music here, hey? This is a
Yeah.
perfect way to start a day, any day.
Keep it in your mind, keep it in your mind, right? We'll do that for another 10 seconds.
Okay?
All right. 9, 8, 7. You know, I don't
6,
count very good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, and now we're back up. Right, now we're gonna do bar squats. We're gonna do 5 of that again with a jump, right?
Okay.
So on the 5th one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump up. And we're gonna activate both our calves and our quads and our glutes. You good?
Are you guys still here? Okay,
All right,
let's
here we
go.
go. Let's count. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up.
Jump.
Okay.
Woo! 2, 3, 4, 5,
Up. 1. Don't stop now.
3, 4, 5.
Up.
I hope that
Okay.
you at home are joining us for these exercises. What I enjoy about them is that they don't require any equipment. I mean, I have to talk. I am a presenter, so while you guys What I enjoy about these exercises is that you can do them at home. They don't require any heavy equipment. How long do you think it would take to see improvements on your legs?
Look, you've got to train legs as an extremely stubborn muscle group because you walk every single day. You use them every single day.
Yeah.
So in order really to get your legs to work, you've got to really start getting into it, right?
Yeah.
So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start doing lunges. Okay.
Okay.
So what you're going to do here is very simple. You're going to left leg lunge, back in,
Back.
and then right leg lunge. Okay?
And back.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
thing with legs is you've got to tire your legs out, and then they'll start growing.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So here we go. Ready?
Yes.
Let's go. It's like
Okay.
surfing, right? Let's go. And 1.
1.
Right? And 2. If you need silence, put your hands on your sides.
3.
There we go.
And then are these kinds of exercises also safe for older people or people who aren't necessarily gym buddies?
Now, quickly, you know what? All you have to do is, in every exercise that you do, if you keep the form right, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
If you've got any knee injuries or any hip injuries, it's very, very important to make sure you keep your posture and your form. Now, the amount of times you do it is all dependent on your fitness level.
Okay, absolutely. Now listen, man, while they are continuing with their lunges, we're going to go back to studio, but make sure to keep it locked on your Feel Good Breakfast show right here on SABC3 Expresso. We continue with part 2 of our fitness exercise right here live from Gordon's Bay Beach.
Okay, nice. Okay, serving it at the
yes.
beach. I'm just looking at these guys and I'm thinking, take it off, Dean, take it off, take it
I
off.
was going to, I was like, hello, it's a Monday morning.
Who
We
works
need
out with
motivation.
clothes on in 2020? That's not a thing, Dean. Take it off.
It's not. If you are getting your fitness on as well, maybe you're doing it at home as well in the comfort of your front room,
Yeah.
then maybe send us those pictures through on social media.
But
We'd
don't
love
take it
to
off.
see. But maybe take it off. Listen, if you're a final brother, send it through. Like, we would like to see it.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, this is
look at you.
motivation,
Almost dropping down to the floor.
Make my day.
Welcome back, you beautiful people. It is your feel-good breakfast show, so we're delving straight into the world of tech. Just as TikTok seems to be on the verge of becoming popular around the world, Vine, the once popular social media network owned by Twitter, they've relaunched themselves, this time around coming through as Byte. Now, what makes these apps so significant is what we want to find out. And what can we expect from social media in the future? What's that landscape looking like? And our friend in tech, Brian Smith, he's here this morning to help us explore. Brian, good to see you. Good morning.
Thank you so much. It's great to be back.
So let's start here, Brian. Remind us what Vine was, because I do have a very faint memory of that. It was quite a while ago. But also, why is Byte significant? What will it do for us?
Absolutely. So it's not Thursday, but it's time for a throwback. And I think many of viewers might remember the name Vine, or the social media network that was around 2013 all the way to 2016. This was a really interesting idea, social network actually owned by Twitter.
Yeah.
What the idea was to create revolving 6-second videos that could loop. And the intention behind this at the time was to create exposure to talent or share sort of viral memes across the service in a format that was almost entirely visual, which users could log in, like, and share a little bit like they could on Twitter.
Yeah.
And perhaps this idea was a little bit ahead of the curve because Twitter didn't actually have a great idea of how to monetize it at the time. And unfortunately, they had to close it down. What we've seen then since, or really ironically, is the same concept becoming popular now all the way in 2020 with the likes of TikTok, for example. The concept lives on, and now Vine is back as Byte, which is going to be sort of Vine 2, so to speak. It's going to follow on almost exactly in the same stead. It's going to be really interesting to watch how the social network grows.
Yeah. Okay, so we're seeing TikTok really grow in popularity. I mean, everywhere I go, the kids are going wild. They're going crazy over it. How will these two compete? Are they similar in any way?
So the concept is broadly similar, and it's perhaps a new phenomenon for social media, is that really this is built around sharing virality, firstly, but there's also sort of a talent focus on these apps. And it's not necessarily built around creating connections or large followings, but it's largely built around more isolated viral moments. So what I mean by that is the content usually speaks louder than the accounts that create them do. And that's pretty fascinating. TikTok, although this is a stat from 2018, TikTok doesn't release its own user stats as regularly as we would like. It has about 500 million monthly active users. And the predominant bunch are actually aged between 16 to 24, which has never been achieved before on the landscape of social media. So between these two apps, we're going to see huge competition now between two real competitors in a social media space that hasn't really existed up until now.
The future is exciting for social media. I think what we're seeing now, social media is moving so much into social media experience. It's about giving the user a real rich and solid experience. Is that the future of what social media is looking like, would you say?
It definitely seems to be. What we see specifically with what we'll call older social media networks like Facebook and Twitter is that the idea of having your friends on a graph, so to speak, so you have either a graph, a network of connections, either your friends and family or perhaps Twitter, the people that want to follow your content, is perhaps one that's on the wane. It's not as popular as it once was. And rather what we see, especially with younger audiences on social media, it's more about the virality, it's more about the content and less really about creating large followings or general accounts. It's more one-off moments. And that's going to be really interesting to see how new social networks create experiences around that.
So the experiences are fun. And I think using these platforms provides for such great user experiences, which is fantastic. But, you know, all of these don't go without any political conversations and trouble. I mean, we're seeing some trouble with the US and TikTok. There's a big news story going on there. What's the story there?
Absolutely. So one of the major concerns around TikTok, given that it actually originates from China, it's actually a pretty interesting story. It's a conglomeration of several apps that have come together to form TikTok, and it's based in China. So there's huge friction between the United States government and China over privacy concerns of having this app installed on your phone. So in the US, it's perhaps not as popular as it is in the rest of the world amongst teens and the large bunch of its user base, as I mentioned earlier. However, with the presence of Vine and Byte, what we might see is a true competitor emerge to TikTok, which there hasn't been up until now. And it's going to be really interesting to see the two compete in close proximity.
I'm always so excited and so intrigued by how we see it's one thing at face value when you're making use of the app as a user, but when you go into, I think, the sort of the political conversations and the news narratives that are going on, it becomes so much more interesting. But Brian, you are an absolute rock star in my life and in all of our lives. Thank you so much again. Of course, if you want to keep up with Brian, you can go on bandwidthblog.com. Let us know if you see any interesting tech stories that are worth chatting about. Share them with Brian, share them with us on our Facebook page. Use that hashtag Expresso Show.
Now, from talking all things stick to maybe meeting our amazing performers today, I'm talking, listen, it's Monday, but we are wearing pink today. Now, Shocking Pink is Mickelfield School's vocal ensemble under the guidance of Lorna Field since 2012. Now, the select group consists of 20 girls between grades 5 to 7, ages from about 10 to 13 years of age. Now, their repertoire consists of original and unique arrangements of classic, popular and contemporary songs. And we get to spend the morning with them this morning. Welcome. So, Linda, Sammy and Ketiwe, correct?
Yes.
Maybe I'll start off with you, Sammy. I love the pink. This morning when I walked into studio, I was like, oh, okay, on Mondays we're wearing pink. Tell us how the name came about.
Well, Mickelfield is known as the Pink School.
Okay.
We wear our pink uniform and emblem with lots of pride.
I love it.
I don't really know who came up with the name Shocking Pink, but as a colour, it's very bright and vibrant. And as a vocal ensemble, we hope to give a bright and shockingly good performance.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And maybe you, Ketiwe, like take us through like how you rehearse every day. Is it what time do you start? What time do you finish? Is it hard work? Is it tough?
Okay, so we rehearse at 7:15 on a Tuesday morning, and since it's a very early start, we all have to be very dedicated and committed to our rehearsal time. We only have 3/4 of an hour, so there's really messing around really isn't an option for us.
So you have to be super dedicated. Lorna, they've been with you since 2012.
Well, the thing is that we like to encourage our girls to take ownership of their group. And so you can imagine they participate in decision-making. And there's quite a bit of chirping that goes on in rehearsals, but in a disciplined environment.
I can imagine. Now, how do you guys come up with the repertoire of what you guys will be performing? Because I can imagine, I mean, lots of girls, 20 girls, everybody wants to sing their favorite song. So how do you go about choosing the repertoire?
Well, we don't do chewing gum.
Okay.
But as you said earlier, we do classic popular music and contemporary songs. So I normally listen to the sound recordings and then I arrange and rework them because I know what my girls can do and I understand their voices. So that's how I do it.
I love that. It's so beautiful. The pop of colour, the pink in studio. What are you looking forward to for 2020 for the group?
Well, it's still an open book and we're open to invitations, but we did some quite exciting things in the past. Just recently, we shared a stage with the a cappella group Anaknote at the Nassau Theatre in Newlands. And then last year, we went around the Western Cape on a short tour, visiting schools along the way. So that was a highlight of last year as well.
Sammy, for you, maybe despite the pink pop of colour, what do you think makes the group so unique?
Well, we all have different voices, and so we can all sing in good harmony and that type of stuff.
And for you, Ketiwe, you just told me now that you deleted TikTok. So maybe not that. What do you feel makes the group so unique for you?
Well, we do all have a special bond. Like, I feel like we can all get along and we enjoy each other's presence. And like Sammy said, we all have different voices and we can create harmonies very easily, and we are fast learners as well.
Can anyone join the group? Can I just rock up to the school and just be like, okay, now we're to be so? How does that then come about? What is the audition process like?
We have quite a strict audition. There are 5 parts to it, and the most important component really is the musicality, the ear test. And I'm looking for a thing which I call musical intelligence. But then, of course, we also do need children with presence and character.
Which they do have.
And commitment, which they do have. Yes.
I love that. And what do you have planned for us today for the Expresso viewers at home?
We're going to start off with a song which came to me from the universe, really, Shallow, by Lady Gaga.
Love.
And originally that was a duet with Bradley Cooper, but we turned it upside down, we transposed it higher, and we added a third voice. So you'll hear something a little bit different. And then also the introduction, which is normally played on guitar, is now going to be vocalese. So expect something a little different.
It is going to be amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You do not want to go anywhere because, like I said, Shocking Pink is in studio today to lift us that spirits for a Monday morning. We're going to take a quick break, but when we do return, they will be serenading us all throughout the show on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso live on SABC3. We're joined once again by sports anchor Jeremy Harris, who's here to share his thoughts on some wonderful sports results. We take a look now at cricket, Jeremy. South Africa versus England, the fourth test.
Yes.
That went down at the Wanderers Stadium out in Johannesburg.
Yes, look, I mean, to be fair, it's not done just yet. I'd like to, because I'm a hopeless sporting romantic, I suppose, I'd like to believe that there's still a chance for the Proteas. But it might just be a bridge too far. 466 runs is what we have to score to win it. And I think that the one thing that we have to do is acknowledge that, that England have come and they've played better cricket than we have. And, when a team does that, then they deserve the kind of results that they're getting. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that they're a whole lot more settled than we are. The setup in their change room, in terms of their squad, in terms of their players, minimal disruption. They've been playing together for a long time. They're very comfortable with each other. Whereas there's a lot of new faces inside
changes
inside the Proteas squad. Absolutely. So I mean, we're seeing that, and we're seeing that. Talk to us again in a year's time, or talk to us again in 6 months' time, and things might very well have moved on. There'll be a level of comfort and maybe an improved performance level.
Yeah.
For the time being, though, it's not been the best watching for a Proteas fan. But certainly, at the end of the day, cricket is the winner, and I can see that particularly from a Buren Hendricks performance yesterday, where he picked up 5 wickets on debut.
Yeah.
It says that there's a lot of pride, there's a lot of fight, and the guys want to perform for their country.
And then you've got netball, our netball team, the Vitality Netball Nations Cup that also took place, where you have us going against New Zealand.
Yes, well, I mean, we've played New Zealand, we've played Jamaica, we've played England. In fact, unfortunately, losing out in every instance. And again, there, you've got to look at the fact that there have been a couple of changes, and again, there, the team is looking to bed itself down and become a little bit more familiar with themselves. It's all about that. It's all about finding comfort with the rest of the people on the court or on the field or wherever it is that you're playing. And so it's early days yet. I think that there's a lot of good that comes out of those tournaments. There's not anything that suggests that we are out of our depth. We've lost narrowly, and so the next time we may win narrowly. But at the moment, we've come away with the result that will cause us to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, we are going to have to. Now we look at, for example, the PSL. When it comes to soccer, oh man, the PSL's always got people just unsure, hey? Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of action gain out of the ABSA Premiership and the PSL, and there's so much talent there. I mean, we're seeing it. A lot of our players have plied their trade, overseas in the bigger leagues in Europe and even further afield. And so I think that there's a lot to be said in terms of how this is a good sort of breeding ground for those future stars. And I think that players and stars that we can be proud of. Yeah. If we had to track back a little bit and look at the Proteas women's. Yes. I mean, cricket team. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Tell us about that. Good result there for them against New Zealand. And I mean, I think that you probably find that on balance, the New Zealand team, probably would have been favoured to come away with a positive result. They didn't. Very good performance from the South Africans. Yeah. And a follow-up game this coming Thursday. And I really think that they've started to find their way in international sport. A long time ago, maybe not that long ago, but there wasn't that much international competition for them. Now we're seeing a lot more opportunities for them to play against other teams. It's getting richer. And with that kind of opportunity to play international teams comes this kind of result. Who's some of your standout performers of the weekend? I mean, yes, the results maybe not so pleasant to talk about, but, people still got in there and they really fought a good fight. Who do you think stood out across the board? Across the board, certainly from a cricketing perspective, I think that inside the Proteas camp, we've got players like, I've mentioned, Buren Hendricks, picked up a fifer, in other words, 5 wickets on his debut, which is it's not an easy thing to do. So I would have to put a flag over his performance and over him. Yeah. I think that the Proteas ladies team, to your point, just generally they lifted themselves as a team. Yeah, they were going there to win. They weren't going there to go, we're going to run on the field and we're going to play some cricket. And I think even the Spar Proteas women's team, the netball team, have shown that, whilst they may have come away with results that we aren't happy with, they are certainly going there and delivering a hard, well fought and well laid out plan. Just not, unfortunately, in this instance, not able to win.
Yeah, they are throwing in the punches.
Absolutely.
Whether they land or not is a different conversation.
Hopefully not punches, but yeah.
Not the
This
punches.
is netball,
No, of course. And ladies don't do that.
No,
the ladies don't do that. But please do continue to weigh in. I'm loving all of the comments that are coming through on our Facebook page over the week's sporting highlights. Let us know on Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Jeremy Harris, thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much.
It is Fitness Mondays right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, if you've ever heard that quote that say, don't skip a leg day, bro, then this is for you, because today we're focusing on part 2 of leg day with Kuthla Adams and our very own Dean Woodman at Gordons Bay Beach. So let's check them out right now.
And we're back reporting live all the way from Gordons Bay Beach. It's a little bit chilly this morning, okay, but we're going to get into the details about the weather a little later on. I am currently joined by South African surf champion Taryn King, who was part of the 2019 national longboard team and a gold medalist at the 2018 ISA World Championships. And she'll be giving us a brief surf report this morning. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
You look like such a cool kid. The wind is blowing your hair back and I'm so jealous. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. This is much better conditions than last week, which is awesome. The strong southeasters finally let up a bit, which is a good thing.
Are you serious? So are you saying this is much more these conditions are much more better than last week's for surfing?
Yes, well, I mean, we went through a very strong southeast period, which is our trade wind in Cape Town in summer, with very small swells. So this week we're looking at a little bit more of a southwesterly to southerly wind today. Smaller swell, but some nice swell coming towards the end of the week, which is good. Glassy mornings and some strong wind in the evenings for downwinding, which is perfect.
And then what are the perfect conditions for specifically Gordons Bay Beach and Strand, and the Strand area for surfing?
So Gordons Bay, you generally need quite a big swell with a light southeasterly wind. So towards the end of the week, Gordons Bay might have some nice little lefts over here. It's called dumps. Great little longboarding or foiling spot. Strand today could be really fun. 2 to 3 foot, warm water. Cool Bay could be fun. And yeah, high tide is at 5 o'clock this evening, with low tide at 11 o'clock this morning.
And then there's a light breeze that I'm feeling right now at 11 kilometers an hour.
Yes.
Would you say that wind also affects the conditions for surfing?
Wind does definitely affect the conditions, but if you've got an offshore wind, we are fortunate enough in Cape Town to be on, we've got 2 coasts to choose from. You've got the Atlantic side and the Indian Ocean. So, I mean, we're very lucky that today we've got options. You know, southeaster is a bit onshore on the False Bay side, but offshore on the Atlantic side. So you're always bound to find a wave somewhere.
And then for perfect weather conditions, sunny or cold or windy?
Surprisingly, the rain often brings the swell.
Oh, serious?
Yes, so as long as you, I mean, once you're in the water, you're wet anyway, so it doesn't matter whether if there's swell, there's waves. So get out there.
And the tide can have a major role also on the way a wave breaks. Then how would you say the tide is today at Gordons Bay?
Specifically for Gordons Bay, you want a high tide, it was high tide early this morning, so the tide is currently going out and it will be low tide at 11 o'clock. So maybe this evening, as the tide starts to push again, you could get some fun waves.
Are you surfing this morning?
Of course, I always get in the water.
I wish I could actually join you. Perhaps a little later on you can teach me a thing or two,
Definitely.
Right? We are still joined by Taryn King right here live from Gordons Bay Beach, reporting for perfect surfing conditions. Back to you guys.
Very much. Kuthla Adams giving it to us from the beach. And you can hear the voices harmonizing nicely in the background. Shocking Pink, you're in for a treat when it comes to this morning's performance. They're going to be performing here on the show and giving us some of our favorite songs in harmony. I'm looking forward to it. So it's time for us to have our first cup of coffee. Been waiting for it the whole time. Princess, good morning.
Morning.
How's it going over there?
I'm coming to you now.
Oh, you're coming over here. Okay, fantastic. Jamie, here's an interesting fact I read about coffee. I don't know if you know this, okay? But did you know that coffee should be served at 60 degrees when you have it, and that you'll...
Sugar.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much, Nono.
No sugar for you, Nono.
Just the way I like it, Mama.
You still on that 90-day no sugar mission. Thanks so much, Mdase.
Okay,
Thank you,
So
my
you're
love.
saying 60 degrees?
60 degrees, and you'll know this when your cup is comfortable to hold at the perfect drinking temperature. That's how you know. 60 degrees.
Okay,
did you know this?
No, I did not know it. Thank you for schooling me on this Monday morning.
Now you know. Cheers. While you top up your coffee cups or have your first one, like us, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we celebrate your birthdays.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you. And yes, happy birthday. Welcome to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's time for us to celebrate your birthdays because let's face it, every single day all over the world, millions and millions of people, they celebrate their birthdays. We take a moment and a few moments out of this show to say happy birthday to them, to have you send in your messages, your wishes, your dedications, and we read them out on air. You can even send videos as well to that 071-640-6551 number. Let's get straight into it today. Starting with Paige, right, who's celebrating her birthday. Is Paige celebrating her birthday?
Yes,
Am I on the right page?
Yes.
Okay, we are on the right page. But Paige, look at her, so cute. And the message says, happy 4th birthday to our princess, Paige Haley Chetty. You mean the world to us. We love you. This is from your mom, your dad, and your sister, Peyton. Happy birthday. And then Leon is also celebrating a birthday today, wishing our brother Leon a happy 45th birthday. May God bless you with good health and long life. Love you lots. This is from Claudia, Gloria, Brenton, Brevin, Abby, Lennons, Sam, Kimmy, and Azaria. Lots of love.
The next one comes through for Brian. A happy 68th birthday to our father and grandfather. May you be blessed with good health and many more years to come. We love you very much. And thank you for being the great person you've always been to us. We love you from your kids and grandchildren. So that's to you, Brian. The next one comes through for Washila. A happy 14th birthday to a very special young lady. We love you, Princess, and may you receive God's blessings over your life from your Peterson, Brander, and Geland family. Happy birthday.
Oh, stunning. Happy birthday. How's this message? I love it. It says, I cannot believe that you're still getting prettier year after year. Your birthdays are too kind on you. Aww. Happy 26th birthday. Tsuvi, may God bless you extra this year. This is for Tandile. I'm guessing this is from one of your loved ones, Tandile. They love you. Happy birthday. And yes, indeed, you are a pretty lady. And here's a 26th birthday message for Jonelle. Happy birthday to Jonelle Sadiline Mills. I wish you long life, baby girl. Stay blessed.
Long life indeed. Now this one goes to my husband, Bradley, who never ceases to amaze me. May you have an amazing birthday and may God keep on blessing you in abundance. I love you from your wife, Brigid. Happy birthday, Bradley.
Happy birthday, Brad.
Hello. The next one goes to Kubashni. Happy birthday to my darling wife. You are truly a blessing to all of us. We wish you many, many more years. Have a fantastic day. And that comes from love from your husband, own Rishi. Happy birthday, Kubashni.
A moment for a good mother-in-law here. It says here, I wish my mother-in-law, Lana Baronse, a happy 55th birthday. May our God bless you with many more years to come. We love you. This is from baby Jody, Riaz, and Abby. Happy birthday, Mama Lana. And one for Prudence as well. Happy birthday, Prudy. Prudence, happy birthday. May the good Lord bless you with many more years to come.
And then lastly, I wish Rethabila a happy 18th birthday. May the Lord bless you with many, many more years. Stay humble and loving from Lerato. Now, if you are celebrating your birthday today, fun fact, you're also sharing this day with Mozart. Now, born on the 27th of January 1756 in Salzburg, Mozart showed ability from his earliest childhood, already competent on keyboard and violin. He composed from the age of 5 and performed before European royalty. Now, he composed more than 600 works, many of which are acknowledged today as symphonic, chamber, operatic, and choral music. Now, he passed on 5th December, sadly, in 1791, but he would have been celebrating his birthday today, so that is super amazing.
Oh,
right?
Mozart, he is a total icon. So if you're celebrating your birthday today, you happen to share yours with an iconic legend. But of course, if you want to have your loved ones wished well on the show, send us that WhatsApp, a video, 10 to 15 second video, 071 6406 551, or you can email us birthdays@cardova.tv.
And of course, if it is your birthday today, we want to say a very happy birthday. You are celebrating your birthday today on Monday, the 27th of January. From all of us here at Expresso, we wish you a happy birthday.
Mwah.
Okay, sweetie, time to blow out your candles.
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Nexa, brought to you by Pharmacodynamics.
Ooh, it is a beautiful day to celebrate your birthday. But now let's delve right into the world of news with Tabiso.
Thank you very much, Jamie Lee. We start off here at home, where Finance Minister Tito Mboweni says some of the key concerns raised by investors at the World Economic Forum included Eskom and the country's fiscal sustainability. Mboweni was speaking at a media briefing in Davos in Switzerland, where he has been leading a delegation of the country's ministers and business people trying to sell South Africa as an investment destination. He says a commitment was given to the investors that the issues are being handled. The National Institute for Communicable Diseases, together with the Department of Health, has developed and distributed the clinical guidelines for doctors and nurses in the health sector to detect and respond to the deadly coronavirus should it be spreading to South Africa. At least 56 people have died from the virus in China, and some 2,000 have been infected globally since cases were first reported in the city of Wuhan in China last month. In international headlines, the new deadly coronavirus is infectious in its incubation period, which can range from 1 to 14 days before symptoms show. Chinese Health Minister Ma Xiaowen has said. He said this makes it much more difficult to contain. At least 56 people have died from the virus and some 2,000 are infected. Authorities in China have now put 15 cities under full or partial lockdown, affecting some 58 million people. The UN's Food and Agricultural Organization has called for international help to fight huge swarms of desert locusts sweeping through East Africa. Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia are all struggling with unprecedented and devastating swarms of the food-devouring insects threatening their food security. The UN fears numbers could grow 500 times by June. Locusts can travel up to 150 kilometers per day and eat their own weight in food each day. And in your feel-good news, researchers at Cardiff University in the UK have discovered a new type of killer T-cell that offers hope of a one-size-fits-all cancer therapy. T-cell therapies for cancer, where immune cells are removed, modified, and returned to the patient's blood to seek and destroy cancer cells, are the latest paradigm in cancer treatments. It recognizes a molecule present on the surface of a wide range of cancer cells, as well as in many of the body's normal cells, but remarkably is able to distinguish between healthy cells and cancerous ones, killing only the latter. The Cardiff study has been published in the the latest issue of Nature Immunology. And let's take a quick look into the world of entertainment, where it has recently been revealed that one of the internet's favorite segments involving cars may not be all it seems. The popular carpool karaoke segment from The Late Late Show with James Corden has its fans shook after he was spotted behind the wheel with guest Justin Bieber. But he wasn't driving. Following the spectacle, an official statement sets the record straight about the clip, explaining that on the rare occasion when the producers feel that a stunt component makes it unsafe to drive, a tow rig is used. Now, we'll be back with more on that story a little bit later on. Let's leave it for now. Here's a look at your world of sports. We start off with some rugby news, where South African Rugby has confirmed Yakuni Baba as the new head coach of the Springboks, and Rugby World Cup winning coach Rossi Erasmus has been named the director of rugby. And staying with rugby, taking a look at Rugby Sevens, the New Zealand Sevens men's and women's teams claimed their second consecutive gold medals in the HSBC World Rugby Sevens series after the men's team beat France 27-5 and the women recorded a 24-7 win over Canada yesterday. In cricket news, stumps on the day 3 of the fourth and final test between South Africa and England saw the visitors set up a 466-run target for the Proteas at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg. Staying with cricket, on Saturday, the South African women's cricket team claimed an emphatic 7-wicket win over hosts New Zealand in the first one-day international in Auckland. News just in is that the Proteas beat hosts New Zealand by 8 wickets in the second ODI this morning to take a 2-0 lead in the series. In the world of netball, the South African netball team suffered a narrow 63-65 third-place playoff loss to hosts England in the Vitality Netball Nations Cup, while 2019 Netball World Cup winners New Zealand, they beat Jamaica 67-56 to win the trophy. In basketball legend Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash in Calabasas out in California. Bryant was a 5-time NBA champion, and he played his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna was also on board the helicopter. 9 people have lost their lives in the tragic accident. We'll be bringing you more information on this story a little bit later on. That's where we leave it for now. Here's a look at your traffic.
Thank you so much, Debbie. So let's take a first look at what's happening on the road this morning. If you find yourself in Gauteng, Pretoria, there's an accident on the N4 westbound before the Proof Plus interchange. The emergency lane is obstructed, so please keep a lookout for this. And then Western Cape, Milnerton on the N7 southbound, there's congestion before the N1 inbound ramp. Heavy delays are expected, so please be patient on the roads this morning. And then lastly, on the Metro Rail Central line, the train service between Cape Town and Chris Hani, Captain's Clip, remains suspended indefinitely due to extensive vandalism. Please use an alternative mode of transport this morning. And that's where you leave your traffic for now. Let's take a look at the world of the weather with Kuthle crossing over from Gordons Bay Beach this morning.
The time is now 7:05. It's time for us to have a more extensive look at the weather this morning. As you can see, the sun is showing up out here at Gordons Bay Beach. But first, we have asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Charmaine Nkuna sent us the sunrise picture from Pretoria, where partly sunny conditions can be expected with an evening shower or thunderstorm, reaching a maximum of 32 degrees. Thank you so much to Charmaine. And this one comes from JP Malarba. He sent us this beautiful skyline from Robertson, where a blend of clouds and sunshine can be expected with little to no wind, and pleasantly warm temperatures reaching a maximum of 26 degrees. We absolutely love seeing these pictures. Make sure to keep them going and flowing on our social media platforms. Right now, let's have a look at the rest of the country. Thunderstorms can be expected for Polokwane at a minimum of 16, reaching a maximum of 28 degrees. Heavy rainfall for Mbombela at 16, peaking at 23 this morning. And Pretoria, your high is 32 degrees with a low of 15. High humidity for Johannesburg at 15, reaching a high of 30 degrees. Mahikeng 16, reaching a high of 31 degrees. And Klerksdorp 13, reaching a high of 30. The same goes for Kimberley with a minimum of 13 degrees, reaching a maximum of 30 degrees. And in Bloemfontein, if you're in Bloemfontein, it's going to be a sunny day with a high of 28 degrees and a low of 10. A couple of showers for Richards Bay at a minimum of 18, reaching a maximum of 24 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, your temperatures range from 14 degrees, reaching a high of 22. Southwesterly wind of 22 kilometers an hour in Durban with a low of 19 and a high of 25. Now down to the Eastern Cape, Mthatha with a low of 10, reaching a high of 23. And if you are in East London, Emondi, southwesterly wind can be expected with temperatures ranging from 15, peaking at 22 degrees. Craddock, it's a partly cloudy day with a high of 25 and a low of 9 degrees. It's going to be a pretty cold day to start the day off in Craddock, reaching a high of 25. And high humidity for it by Port Elizabeth with a low of 14, reaching a high of 22. George, 12, 20. And the lowest temperature in the country goes to Sutherland at 8 degrees, reaching a high of 24. Make sure to keep covered up until the sun decides to show up. Cape Town, 15 degrees, reaching a high of 21. Worcester, 10, reaching a high of 26. And Springbok, it's going to be a sunny day with a peak of 31 degrees, reaching a low of 14. And the highest temperature in the country goes to Uppington with 33 degrees and a low of 16. That's your 7 a.m. weather roundup. We'll give you a more extensive look at the weather right here live from Gordons Bay Beach.
Thank you very much, Kuhle Adams, coming through from Gordons Bay Beach. Now, I think she's also getting ready for part 2 of leg day, because you never skip leg day. And when you do get into leg day, you get into leg day. When you don't look like you've done leg day.
Listen, I want to thank my ancestors for Calvinia's calves, because I literally don't train legs.
You don't need leg day.
No, I don't need leg day. I feel like that's not my main focus in life. So I focus on like core and other stuff, but leg day I always skip it, which is actually a bad thing. But you've been working out like
I have been working
a gym bunny,
out.
Doing core, doing arms. When last have you been doing
I
leg
must
day?
be honest. I must be honest. I am one of those people who have been skipping leg day galore. So yeah, I feel bad about that. And hopefully today I can get into it. I can get into my leg day.
You're going to look like a lollipop friend if you don't start working out.
And we don't want that. No one wants to look like a lollipop.
Now,
let's leave the lollipop aesthetic to the lollipops. Are you doing leg day today? Maybe we've inspired you. Maybe Kuhle is inspiring all of us to get into leg day. But that part 2 of leg day is coming up after this.
Just relax, it's just us two. Just do you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Day indeed. Welcome back right here on SABC3. It is Monday Motivation. We are getting our leg day on right here. Not in studio, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Kukle Adams is out at Gordons Bay Beach, right?
And we're on standby to watch her get in to leg day alongside Dean Woodman over there. And I can see Dean in the background there just getting into it. Let's go there.
This is the inspiration we needed.
Legs are the most difficult parts to work out in the body. It takes a little bit of time to tone them and get them in shape. So we are joined by 2019 Presenter Search contestant, Dean Woodman, of which in the first part you showed us a few lunges and squats that we can do to tone our thighs, etc., etc. And right now we're going to continue with that workout. But first, we have asked you on social media for your workout pictures, and we have received quite a number of responses. This one comes from Vilma Lederman, and she says that is how they do yoga in Eisefontein. Ooh, I see them. It's a group of people starting off the morning in a very beautiful way. This one comes from Musipe Sihle. He says, I'm improving strong arms. We see the six-pack coming along. I have so much FOMO because this one pack here is not going to take me anywhere. This one is from Unombulelo Zandile Gama. She says, me and my friend, we do 10-kilometer marathon because we don't get time to go to the gym during the week or any other day. Girl, I don't get time to go to the gym because I just don't got time to go to the gym. So shout out to you for doing that 10-kilometer run. Uthandokazi Mandlovu says, I always say I'll start soon but doesn't get to it. But this time around, thanks to Dean. Absolutely, thank you to Dean Woodman because I get to say I work out too. This one is from Rosemary. She says, good morning, #Expresso team. If I had a trainer like Dean, if I had a trainer like Dean, I would have the best legs ever. Wouldn't want to disappoint. Wouldn't want to disappoint you. Well, Rosemary, I hope that you are joining us in our second part of our workout session. Let me put this aside so that I can join the rest of the team with our second part of the workout. I'm so glad that we are far in it. So, what are we doing now?
This is called a side lunge.
Okay.
So
and what are we working out with our side lunge?
Yeah, you're working out your glutes, you're working out your inner quad, and you're basically just getting your core nice and firm, right?
So, and then how many sets of lunges are we doing?
Well, technically, we've done about 100 while you've been speaking. So we're just here for another about 5, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise, because I'm sure they're cursing me behind me. So, okay?
They're just like, we're over this.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, and this takes a bit of balance, but it's about the core. It's called stiff leg. Stiff leg. Stiff leg.
Okay.
So you keep your one leg, team knows it already. You're going to go down, you're going to keep straight, and you touch, and then all the way up.
I can see why this one is all about the core, because it also requires some balance.
100%. You got to balance.
Look at me talking about balance, but I can't even find my balance.
That's fine. Look, I mean, the thing is, if you can't go all the way down, you can literally modify it just till here, come all the way back up.
Okay.
As your strength and your core increases, you can then go all the way down.
Yeah.
All right?
Oh, Corbin, I see you just like me. You're struggling over there, hey?
It's okay. It's all about the balance.
It's the sand.
It is all about the balance.
Blame it on the sand, Corbin. Blame it on the sand.
And how does your typical routine look, Corbin? Like the daily workout session for you?
So what I like to do is I like to try and activate the majority of my muscle groups every day.
Yeah.
So I don't always just focus on one specific body part.
Yeah.
I focus a whole lot on my core, because I think once you've got the core up and running, it really, really helps you build all the way around your body. Legs, arms, upper body, everything.
You keep the blood flowing,
Yes.
you keep it going. I absolutely love it. You start the day off, you know, on a very energized note.
Yes.
So how often do you work out? Oh, yeah.
Please, you do mind. We are training you, aren't we? She tries this, by the way. She talks a lot.
And then, Dean, how often should we continue with these, you know, workout exercises?
It's very important to alternate all the time, right?
Yeah.
But legs is super, super stubborn and super important.
Yes.
The amount of endorphins that legs releases into the body is absolutely amazing. It makes every other exercise routine easier. You good there, Kugli?
I'm good. Are you guys good? I just want to check if everyone else is good. Are you guys doing well? Are you dying?
Listen, I think it's time to do your favorite one, though, and that's the last one. You know mountain climbers? Remember we did it in studio?
Oh, no. Okay. Okay, you can show them in the meantime.
Okay, guys.
I'll follow up.
Mountain climbers, here we go. Well, Kugli does what she's paid for, which is talk. All right? And here we go. Bring those knees up.
Come on, guys. You can do this.
woman. And 10 more seconds. 9, 8,
7, 6, 5. While they finish up their workout, thank you so much for joining us with our fitness routine out here at Gordon's Bay Beach. We're still around with Terry King a little later on for a surf report, so keep it locked on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Well done, guys. Woo, we worked out so hard. Wow. Well done.
What was that? You flopped out, but no worries. We got you, girl. We got you. Now, Shocking Pink is in studio from Macclesfield School to give us their rendition of Lady Gaga's Shallow. Here they are with their first performance for the morning.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Is it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, shallow. In the shallow, in the shallow, shallow. We're far from the shallow now. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, shallow. In the shallow, shallow. In the shallow, shallow. We're far from the shallow now.
Oh my word, girls. Take a bow, take a bow. Give us a nice curtsy over there. That was amazing. Shocking Pink in studio from Macclesfield School, right here in Rondebosch. Lorna, I mean, 2012, you've seen these girls grow. How long does it take for a performance like that to come together?
Oh, rehearsal after rehearsal. I have to say that this group have a wonderful work ethic and they learn quickly. So I jump from one voice to the other and it happens. But for the song to mature takes time. I think part of the secret is they really love that song.
You can absolutely hear it and see it. Stunning Pink right here in studio. We love it. We are so looking forward to your next performance after the break. But of course, one more time, guys, Stunning Pink in studio on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We are going to take a quick break.
With
With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a Crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Creamier taste, bigger fruit pieces and cereals. Fruits of the Forest is made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're bringing it to the kitchen now. We know that it's easy to get stuck in a boring daily breakfast routine, but thanks to Clover Fruits of the Forest yogurt, it's a base dairy snack, a yogurt-based dairy snack rather. It's a source of 10 vitamins. Breakfast can be colorful, it can be fruity, but it can also be really, really healthy as well. So this morning, we're making a marinated fruit breakfast. And of course, because we're all about pink today with the shocking pink vocal ensemble in studio, we're going to add a bit of color to this recipe. Now, to show us how is Teresa Alyate. Welcome back, Teresa. Good morning.
So nice to be back.
Reunited, you and I together again. Okay, so this is a very interesting twist to how you prepare your fruit marinade, right?
Yes, yeah.
So let's get into it.
Okay, so it's a fruit salad with a difference. We've got lots of color, lots of nutrients. So we're going to start with the marinade.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put some strawberries into our blender. Try not to spill them. Lots of fresh ingredients. We've got some kiwi that we've peeled and chopped up.
Yes, I love the kiwis.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of sugar just to offset the sharpness of the fruit. And then in honor of our beautiful pink choir today, we're going to be adding our food coloring.
Ah, okay, so we're getting that touch of color in there.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the juice of half a lime.
Stunning.
Which adds some nice zestiness
into
the marinade.
Which you're
So
getting
get that
in there.
all
But
in
also
there.
just like neutralizes the flavors really nicely from all the acidic ones.
Yeah, lots of nice flavor going on in here.
Okay,
So
great.
you pop that in your blender, and we're going to blitz that until it's smooth.
Okay, great.
Right.
So you're blitzing that. Do you need me to help you with that?
There we go.
I already love the look of it. Look at that. That looks already good.
Yeah.
But listen, if you want to get your hands on this recipe, we'll send it to your phone. Send it to 33728. It's Clover to 33728. Now, we're making use of Clover Fruits of the Forest yogurt-based dairy snack, which has a creamy taste and crunchy fruit. It's a source of 10 vitamins. Any flavor of Clover Fruits of the Forest yogurt-based dairy snack range can be used to make this recipe. So you can choose any one of your favorites, and it'll still be able to deliver the same goodness that we're making here.
So what I've done is I've added some chia seeds in there. So
Yeah.
that's also got some nice nutritional value, and it's going to help thicken the marinade. Can you smell it?
Beautiful. I can smell it. It's quite rich. The flavor
lovely,
is very, very rich. Okay.
Right, so we've got some more fruit over here, and we're going for a kind of a tropical vibe. We've got some mango that
Yeah.
we've cut into cubes,
Okay.
and some lychee. We've peeled them and removed the pips.
And you got the juice of the lychee in there as well.
Delicious. So give that a mix. And then what you want to do is pour your marinade over that, and then you can actually let it sit overnight. So you
That's
can make it
nice.
ahead of time, make it the night before.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, you've got this stunning fruity dessert.
I love that it's a really good and strong combination of all of those refreshing fruits. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
But also just taking advantage of and making full use of those fruits that are in season at the moment. So if you look at the mango, for example, which everybody should have, most people will have at home right now, but just giving it a bit of a twist. So instead of just having it on its own, making this marinade or adding it into that makes it so special.
And you could, change it up as the year goes on, adapt your fruits. So pop that in your bowl, and then of course we're going to add our fruits of the forest yogurt. So we're using the mixed berry today, but you can use any of the variants.
Yes.
You could also use the one with the cereal in it, because that would add an extra kind of element of texture.
Yes, that's the nice thing, is the variety that you can explore and experience with this.
That's it.
Lends itself into so many opportunities as far as your breakfast is concerned. Okay.
I mean, it's beautiful, it's
Yogurt.
fresh, lots of flavor. You could add some fresh herbs on top if you want to just add a bit of decoration.
I love that.
And there
Voila,
you go.
you are done and ready to be
Super
a
easy.
crowd pleaser. Teresa, this looks amazing. But of course, if you want this sent to your phone, SMS Clover to 33728. That's Clover to 33728. We'll send you an SMS. In that SMS, you'll get a link to the recipe with all of the ingredients. But just in case you missed all of these really easy steps that Teresa has taken us through, take a look at this.
Stuck in a tired breakfast routine? Add some color to your mornings with this Clover overnight marinated fruit. Add 2 peeled kiwis to a blender, followed by a cup of strawberries, the juice of half a lime, and a teaspoon of caster sugar. Then blend until smooth. Add 1 teaspoon of chia seeds to your fruity marinade and stir to combine. Before pouring it over 1 peeled and cubed mango and a cup of peeled and pitted lychees. Pop in the fridge to chill and marinate overnight. Serve your overnight marinated fruit with your favorite Clover fruits of the forest flavor and you're done. Quick to make and packed with healthy benefits, this is the perfect summer breakfast for the whole family to enjoy.
Made with love by Clover.
Well, it's that simple. Clover to 33728. We'll send you an SMS with a link to the recipe, and you'll get all of those ingredients in there. I mean, you get overnight oats, and now, as you've seen, you get overnight fruit as well. Healthy and delicious. This is the perfect must-try breakfast this summer. Now, to get that recipe sent, once again, that's Clover to 33728, and each SMS will cost you R1.50, and no free SMSs apply. Teresa, of course,
You're
we
gonna
have to taste. I
yeah.
have to try it.
Is this your breakfast? Is this?
This is breakfast served. Okay, let me get in there. Oh, man.
Lovely texture and color. So I get the thumbs up?
Flavors coming through. I love it. This is absolutely amazing. You've got to try it. SMS that keyword Clover to 33728. I'm going to take this away. Thanks so much, Teresa. You're my rock star.
Creamier taste, bigger fruit pieces and cereals. Fruits of the Forest is made with love by Clover.
Spoon, Mama, when did you get that spoon?
I brought my own spoon. I'm gonna try to get in there.
Tell me what you think of the texture, first of all.
Did you make this alone?
Mm-mm.
I'm joking.
I'm not going to take any credit. Teresa made this entire thing.
That is so good.
Your thoughts?
Love it. Ice cold.
Yeah.
This is like beach day. If
Yeah.
you scream, it's screaming summer.
That's it.
I absolutely love it.
But
I'm
also,
so proud
if you
of
really, well, not me, man. I'm just learning like
Teresa.
everybody
I'm
else.
very proud of
Teresa, but
Teresa
also
for
Nicole
teaching
Snelling,
you.
Kitchen Fairy. They work so hard to make these things and bring them to life. But I think if you really are trying to switch up your breakfast and you're trying to give it a bit of a twist, this is so ideal. It's so perfect. You can keep it in the fridge for a while as well. So maybe 2 days. I don't think it'll last a while in the fridge because I mean it's so good. You want to finish it all in one go. But if you do manage to get people to do that, then that's perfect. We're hitting Clifton Beach on Wednesday for our culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting! And we're looking for some food inspiration from you guys at home. Struggling with culinary conundrums? Maybe yes, no, fear not, because we're going to be bringing you all the culinary experts on the show every Wednesday and Friday to answer any of your questions. So please do hop on over to our Facebook page right now and ask your questions or share your own advice, because you know some people are experts at this food thing. As we head to Clifton on Wednesday, do let us know what your favorite gourmet beach food is and what you like to pack in your picnic basket as well. My favorites, for example, are a scrumptious cheese. I love that. I love it. Great tomato and rocket baguette, a crunchy fruit salad. I mean, I love fruit salad, but what is yours? Let us know on Expresso Morning Show SABC3.
You are actually very brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
No, it's not a mistake. You are still joining your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Now, we've decided to change things up a bit and do a part 2 of wishing you a happy birthday. Because, of course, we want to wish everyone, but we can't. So this is part 2 of wishing you a happy birthday. If it is your birthday today, the Monday, the 27th of January, happy birthday.
And why not? There are so many special people, so it makes sense. It is that time of the day. We wish you, our loyal and loved viewers, a very happy birthday. So if you are celebrating today, did you know that you also share a birthday with actor Alan Cumming? Fun fact, he reportedly turned down the role of Gerald Roy Lockhart? Is it Gilroy Lockhart? Yes. You know, that name also, it gets me sometimes. But in the second Harry Potter film, where he learned that he'd be making less than Rupert Grint, so he was like, no, that's not happening. But most notable, Cummings plays Ellie Gold in The Good Wife. He is turning 55 years old today. So if you are celebrating your birthday, you happen to be sharing a birthday with this man today. Let's get into our birthdays for you, our special viewers. Happy first birthday to Giant Boy Sipotumo Donta. I hope you enjoy your birthday and wishing you many more years to come. This is from your mom, Nomfundo, your ta Fire, and entire Donta family. They love you. And then Sudhir is also celebrating a birthday today. It says here, I wish my hubby, Sudhir Singh, a very happy birthday. I love you so much. From your wife, Reisha, and kids, Latika and Tarum.
Super cute. Now, another shout-out comes to Tyler. A happy 9th birthday to my big boy, Tyler Moodley. More blessings for you, son, from the Dalport and Valentine family. Look at that cutie pie smiling over there. And then a happy birthday to my sister, Rose Pretorius. Stay the awesome sister that we all love and that we know. So happy birthday. Yes, foot up. Giving the people what they want in that picture.
What they want. Also, Zoe is celebrating a birthday. It says, happy 8th birthday to our gorgeous Zoe. Zoe, have a wonderful day. We love you lots. This is from your dad, your mom, and Nico X. Chantel also celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to Chantel. May you be blessed with everything beautiful as you are a beautiful soul, both in and out. Enjoy your special day. This is from your grandparents in heaven, Afonso, Pequino, Sutton, and Contino families.
Gorgeous.
Happy birthday.
Gorgeous. Then another one comes through for Kira. Happy 10th birthday to our angel, Kira van Wyk. May the Lord bless you with many more happy years. Enjoy your special day. This comes from your mommy, your daddy, your sister, and your brother. Keeping it flowing is a happy birthday to my daughter, Andrea Parker. Thank you for everything you do for the family. Love you lots.
Morton is celebrating his birthday today. Morton, happy 31st birthday. Hope you have an amazing day, and I pray that you stay blessed with the best. Cheers to many more years ahead of you. I love you always, Morton. And then happy birthday to an amazing friend, Lucille Abrams. Have a wonderful birthday. Much love. May God bless you more. This is from Megan from Maryland, as well as Phoebe. Happy birthday, Lucille.
Love you. And then another one comes through. You have finally turned over a new start, Siviwe. I hope you will experience all you wish for this coming year. Happy birthday from Major and Mzondi. That is for you. And then lastly is a big one to our very own boss right here at Cordova. It's Bradley's birthday. Well, it was yesterday, but we're wishing you today. Happy birthday,
Happy
Bradley.
birthday, Bradley.
Love
Fantastic. This is so special. You know, Bradley looks after Bob and Bella, so all of the pups, the Frenchies, and Baz, all of them, he looks after them. They live with him, and so we love him, we appreciate him, and we want to say happy birthday to you, Bradley. You're a special man, a special, very kind gent. But he's not the only kind person. Obviously, our country is full of these people. They do some interesting work in all of their different communities, changing lives all over the place. And we take a look at this week's Mandela Monday here. It's an organization that does such wonderful work. I mean, we know that there are many struggles that we go unaware of, but these people tap into that space and they change lives. Take a look at this. Many differently abled people, the rehabilitation process can be a taxing one physically, mentally, but also financially. And now, with the aim to contribute to a more supportive and inclusive society, Walking with Brandon organization was born, and that's why they are today's Mandela Monday heroes. How's it? Good.
Through the stories of these patients, the aim is to inspire hope so that others see a potential for recovery which they never thought possible.
So, Brandon, you were a gymnast and you suffered an injury that led you to being differently abled. Tell us about your story and what led you to becoming co-owner of this amazing space here, Walking with Brandon.
I never imagined my life to ever go in this direction. I was a gymnast training for the first time for junior Olympic level, and I was a musician and a dancer at school. And during training, I fell off the parallel bars. I missed the safety mats. Ended up landing on my head, breaking my neck at level C67, and that left me paralyzed from the chest down with minimal arm function and no hand function. I went for my inpatient therapy, which was limited at 10 weeks, and afterwards I was sent home, and that was it. I had no major follow-up and no training or rehabilitation or assistance or guidance. We didn't know where to go as a family. For years after that, we dedicated time to therapy and rehabilitation and training and trying to get back as much as possible. And after doing fundraisers and being lucky enough to go to America for 6 weeks, I was exposed to a program that was out of this world. And after coming back, I realized that I had to continue that same program in order to see more progress. So after continuing with that same program with biokineticists here in South Africa, we noticed that other people wanted access to it as well. So we opened it up to the public. And word kind of spread. And over time, more people started coming onto the program. And that kind of snowballed into something huge. So 2015, we decided to give it a name, which is now Walking with Brandon, because I want others to walk this journey with me.
Brandon's father and executive chair of the foundation knows the value of patients regaining independence to pursue their goals and enjoy their lives.
Tell us specifically about the work that you do here at Walking with Brandon.
Walking with Brandon Foundation focuses on making neurological rehabilitation accessible to all people. The foundation specifically focuses on the fact that it should be a right and not a privilege to everybody. The fact that there's no neuro rehab available, or should I say there has not been anything available up until now. They get told that there's no future of recovery. We've changed that. We've turned that on its head now. And we've turned around and said, but there is chance of recovery, from getting a little pinky finger movement back to as much as getting some kind of hand function or arm function back, to some patients even walking again.
So a typical session at our Therapy and Beyond Centre would depend firstly on the type of therapist one was seeing. So we have biokinetics, physio and occupational therapy. So the patients would normally discharge from hospital and then brought across in those early phases. So depending on who you're seeing, the session can vary widely. So your biokinetics would be more your strength training, cardiovascular training. The physiotherapy might be more mobility work or regaining smaller movements. And then the occupational therapy would be more functional, so learning how to adapt to your home environment or going to the supermarkets and things like that. So it's a very broad spectrum, and depending on the person's needs, we then tailor it towards what they would require.
When I was 15 years old, I broke my neck in rugby, leaving me completely paralyzed from the shoulders on downwards. And then 2 weeks ago, we came to working with Brandon, and the facility has been amazing. They've helped me tremendously with state of mind, my mentality, and my physical state. And the cohesive input from both sides has been amazing.
I have to say that I do feel improvement. I feel like my endurance has gotten much better, and also core stability, balancing has gotten better. And I think more than anything, what they have given me is a hope when I came here that you could improve, you would get better if sticking to them. But I think that was even more important to me at that time than the actual physical rehabilitation.
On a personal level, what does it feel like for you seeing people walk into this center who may have otherwise lost hope, grow gradually and find their passion once again?
Oh, it's electric, absolutely electric. To see someone coming here for the first time and they're sad and they seem as if they've lost hope. And after that one session, you see them perk up and you see them smile and they realize that there is a chance that they can improve on themselves. And down the line, when you get to know them and you create rapport with them, and to see them improve, maybe to take their first steps 4 or 5 years later, and they've been wheelchair bound. It's the most powerful feeling ever to share with a person. They light up like nothing will ever experience.
If Brandon missed out on the Junior Olympics, he's resolved to compete in the Paralympics, all while growing this facility to becoming Africa's premier outpatient rehab center, based on advanced medical science, a holistic approach to recovery and accessibility for all.
And that's some really life-changing stuff over there, Brandon Beck, helping people who may lose hope in the process get into rehabilitation, not just physically, but also mentally as well. And he does this with so much love and so much passion. And I take my hat off to him. Well done. Salute, Brandon.
I love that, love the initiative. But now we're going to slow things down a bit, more with some stretching with Kuthle and Dean over at Gordon's Bay Beach. This morning, Husa.
Okay, Mr. Dean Woodman, I see you out here stretching. Mamelani Ngubo and Amhlanje is all about working out. Then I'm being daughter this entire morning. I've been hanging out with Dean Woodman, presenter search contestant 2019, and he's been showing us the perfect way to achieve a perfectly toned, thighs, calves, and glutes. But right now, we are going to work, down.
You're going to work up, though, because you didn't train at all.
No, I was doing a lot of hard work, okay? I was working hard this morning. It's very important for us to warm up before any exercise and also warm down after any exercise. So what are we going to start with?
So what you're going to do is what the others should have done, but we'll let you do it. Just open up your starts.
Okay.
All right, cool. So now we need to stretch the inside of the hammy and the glutes.
Okay.
So the problem is you've got to lean off, take your hand down, point it down all the way to your shin. All right, then you come all the way back up again, and you go to the alternate. Now this is very, very good, very, very important. You've got to stretch out the muscle sheaths. So as much as you've warmed up and you've trained, if you don't cool down, you could hurt something later on in the day.
Does warming up also count as exercise though? So can I just 100%. Do this randomly when I wake up in the morning or before I go to sleep?
You've got to combine all of it, okay? You can't just start the car. I mean, come on.
Fair enough. Okay, this is easy enough for me. I feel like,
I thought you just said it's easy. Okay, let's try.
Because
Let's try.
I can actually really feel it. And also you work out and you stretch out better than you surf, so.
Oh, wow. You went there. Well,
I had to take it there.
Well, let's stretch the hammies and the quads out again. Let's pull up, pull to the waist, the back.
Okay.
Hold it there, hold your balance.
How long do we do this for?
Well, as you're keeping it, what you need to do is you actually need to pull your leg up to your buttocks.
Am I not gonna break anything? I feel like I'm about to break something.
If you really trained really hard earlier this morning, then perhaps, but I think you should be good. Okay? Let's go to the next leg.
Okay, I see you reading me this morning, Dean Women, but it's okay.
Listen, all I'm going to say is mountain climbers is a thing. And the next time I come on here, you definitely need to be able to do them for longer than 5 seconds.
No, I definitely will. You know what? I'm learning to commit to go back to, to actually start working out and committing to working out.
So here, I want you to put your elbows into your knees, and I want you to push out.
Okay.
Okay, can you feel it?
So am I on my toes or like is
on
it
the
flat
back
foot?
of your heel? Flat foot. A little bit of namaste in your mind there.
I hope you're not zooming into my one bag. Right now, what muscles are we working?
We're not working anything. All we're doing is stretching the sheaths, right?
Okay.
So remember, your muscles have exploded for about 10 or 15 minutes now during training, and now you need to cool it down again. But at the same time, while you're cooling it down, stretching is super, super important because you don't want to constrict your muscle.
Yes.
That's normally when injuries happen. You'll be walking out the stairs, you're getting out of your car, and then you get hurt.
Yeah.
And you'll feel a kink, and you'll be like, oh, and then you're out of training for like 3 weeks.
And then you have to go back to start all over again.
You know what that feels like? To not train for 3
I
weeks?
mean, I can't relate, you know what I mean?
Next one, I just need you to do this.
Ooh, we're moving the hips now.
Moving the hips. Just getting in a little bit of a hula hoop there.
Okay, I kind of like this one.
Yeah, I thought you would. Yeah.
It's like there's some like a bomb song in my head. It's been a fantastic Monday morning, the perfect way to start our week, to start off our day, right here at Gordons Bay Beach with 2019 presenter search contestant Dean Woodman, who has been showing us, simple and very practical workouts, especially for our legs. You're such a champ, man.
I'm hoping that you're going to become a champ too.
I will. The next time you come back, I will be in form, okay?
We're going to do this, eh?
Yeah, have faith in me,
Okay,
Dean.
cool.
Come on, man.
Please, have faith in me.
Keep it locked on your Feel Good Breakfast Show because a little later on, we're going to be continuing our conversation with Taryn King.
Teach us your ways, you great one, Dean Woodman. Teach us all of your ways.
Oh, we're not going to talk about the fact that he looks like a whole Monday morning motivation to look like that. If I look like that every day, he'd be my roommate,
If I looked like that, let's start with the fact that you see he's topless. I would walk around everywhere topless like that. If I had a body like that, I wouldn't be in clothes right now on this show every day. And yes, everyone would want to move in with me. In fact, Princess, if you could move in and share an apartment with someone, any one of the presenters here on this show, who would it be? Who would you move in with, my dear?
And why?
And why?
No
Think
pressure.
about the answer, my girl.
No pressure.
Obvious, it's Nono.
Who's Nono, my dear?
Tabiso.
Why would you move in with me, my dear?
Because, most Abantwana are wrong together.
Oh, man, it would be a party in our apartment. So coming up later on, we're having our relationship chat. It's a Monday, and we're talking about moving in together, making that first step and that first conversation with Shirley Lewin. It's going to be a heated one, an interesting one as well, right?
How about you? Who would you?
I would move in with Princess. Because yes, abantwana ba wrong, abantwana ma uba, but also only because I trust her to pay her rent on time. The rest of y'all, I don't trust. Thanks so much for old bread muffin. That McAfee cappuccino. Thanks.
Even though you did not choose me, but it's fine. I get you. I'll come for you again the next time. I won't bring you ice course tomorrow morning.
A taste loved by those who have tried it. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Apply for your American Express Gold or Platinum card and get 20% off your food bill, or a complimentary appetizer, or a free bottle of wine every time you use your card at participating taste restaurants around the country. Apply now at americanexpress.co.za.
welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. It's Monday and we're talking all things relationships. Now, they say the longer you date someone, the more likely you will think about moving in together. One day, after all, you're planning on staying together forever. So why not start forever right now? Or perhaps living together could be a good test before you get married, right? Now, whatever the reason, there are several ones when it comes to moving in together for the very first time, and you should know the reason for doing so. So today we're asking you the question, is there a perfect time to move in with your partner? Now, relationship architect Shelly Lewin is in the building to help us discuss this hot topic, and we'd absolutely love to hear from you, your questions and your comments. So head on over to our Facebook page, drop a comment on this post, and we would love to engage with you this morning. Welcome, Shelly.
Thank you so much.
A hot topic today,
It is.
moving in together.
Absolutely.
Is there a timeline when it's the right time to move in together with a partner?
Well, I think every relationship is unique, and probably there is a generic time frame of between 6 to 12 months that seems to be the standard amount of time. But I would say that it's really important for each couple to know why they want to move in together and what does it mean for their relationship. As you said before, what's the reason why you're wanting to move into the relationship? You know, it really should be part of your commitment strategy, not part of a financial savings strategy.
Take us through the positives. What is maybe on the bucket list why this would be a good thing to move in with your partner, maybe even before marriage?
Okay, so I think, well, first of all, it's very exciting and very romantic. But besides that, it's the first time you really get to demonstrate that the relationship is really important to me, that I'm serious about it, and we're serious about each other. So it's a real sign of commitment moving forward to a future, long-term future together. The other thing about it is that it's really the first opportunity that you get of evaluating your compatibility with someone. Because I really believe that you don't know someone until you live with them. And so it can make or break a relationship. And living together is the best way to have a test drive for marriage and living together. And some people don't live together well, so there's a bit of a risk involved. And I'd say that it's really going to make or break and evaluate your compatibility.
That is so true. Friends of mine actually moved in together first before getting married, and then they ended up not getting married. Like, there's also that risk of it.
Absolutely, it is a risk.
But what things should partners consider before moving in and taking that big step?
Well, I think you pointed it earlier that you really need to consider the reasons why you're doing it. What does this mean to the relationship? Because it's not something that you just let's do it because it's going to be good for us and saving some money every month. You really need, I mean, it's a serious move, so there's quite a lot to consider, you know. First of all, are you able to have transparent, open conversations about money? You know, you're going to be sharing the cost of living, so there needs to be comfort around having difficult conversations. You're going to have conversations around what's our budget, what can I afford, what can you afford. You need to be able to decide who's going to be contributing what, how much are we contributing each towards the household. And then there's all those difficult conversations around how you're going to be splitting the domestic duties, you know. So things that often happen as people fall into those traditional gender roles. Oh, girls should do this, boys should do that, and that's your first step towards domestic conflict, is going in with these kinds of assumptions. So I'd say that you almost want to know that first of all, that you have the ability to do rupture and repair. That if we have an argument about something, we know how to reconcile. That we have the skill, that it doesn't just every time we have an argument, it gets swept under the carpet. Because if you don't have that skill going into living together, it's just going to become a nightmare. And then what often happens is that the relationship then gets this, could be described as, I don't know if you've ever heard of John Gottman. He's a psychologist, and he describes the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Okay. And basically, if you have criticism, contempt, defensiveness and withdrawal. So if your relationship can be described as one that has a strong feeling of criticism, contempt, defensiveness and withdrawal, you do not have the skills to live together. Oh, wow. Because essentially you aren't able to overcome problems. You don't have what it takes to work things through and to repair and to reconcile when things don't go well. So if you know that going in, it's not a good idea to move in together.
Absolutely. Shelley Lewin, love having in studio. Now, of course, we are going to continue this conversation a little bit later for part 2 of Moving In Together. Head on over to our socials. We love to hear from you. Moving in together. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? We unpack that a little bit later on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much, Jamie Lee. We take a look at the 8 o'clock headlines, starting off with Minister Gwede Mantashe having announced that the mining industry has recorded its lowest drop in industry-related deaths. He released the 2019 Mine Health and Safety Statistics as the mining sector marked the 60th anniversary of the Coalbrook mining disaster, which saw 435 mine workers lose their lives on the 21st of January in 1960. Statistics show that the sector had recorded 51 fatalities in 2019, which represents an improvement of 37% compared to the 2018 fatalities. Finance Minister Tito Mboweni says some of the key concerns raised by investors at the World Economic Forum included Eskom and the country's fiscal sustainability. Mboweni was speaking at a media briefing in Davos in Switzerland, where he has been leading a delegation of the country's ministers and business people trying to sell South Africa as an investment destination. He says a commitment was given to the investors that the issues are being handled. In international news, the Kenya Wildlife Service has said that a migratory osprey was caught in a fishing net in the western region of the country after covering some 6,950 kilometers from Finland. The bird was found with a few bruises on the leg, but apparently healthy, although it had lost some weight and was dehydrated. The fish-eating bird will be hydrated, provided with proper diet and monitored for a few days before being released into the wild. The new deadly coronavirus is infectious in its incubation period, which can range from 1 to 14 days before symptoms show. Chinese Health Minister Ma has said that that's the case. He said this makes it much harder to contain, and at least 56 people have already died from the virus and 2,000 are infected. Authorities in China have now put 15 cities under full or partial lockdown, affecting some 58 million people. And in your feel-good news, researchers at Cardiff University in the UK have discovered a new type of killer T cell that offers hope of a one-size-fits-all cancer therapy. T-cell therapies for cancer, where immune cells are removed, modified, and returned to the patient's blood to seek and destroy cancer cells, are the latest paradigm in cancer treatments. It recognizes a molecule present on the surface of a wide range of cancer cells, as well as in many of the body's normal cells, but remarkably is able to distinguish between healthy cells and cancerous ones, killing only the latter. The Cardiff study is published in the latest issue of Nature Immunology. Heading over into the world of entertainment, South Africans continue to shine on the world stage as SA rapper Nasty C attended the Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony for Universal Music CEO Sir Lucian Grange. He was one of several stars invited to attend the function, along with the likes of Justin Bieber, Sam Smith, Hailey Steinfeld, and Shawn Mendes. The young MC shared his excitement and praise for the music exec with some pictures on Instagram. We'll have more on that story a bit later on. Right now, though, let's take a look at sports. Are we able to just... South African Rugby has confirmed Yaku Nibaba as the new head coach of the Springboks, and Rugby World Cup winning coach Rassie Erasmus has been named the director of rugby. In Rugby Sevens, the New Zealand Sevens men's and women's teams, they claimed their second consecutive gold medals at the HSBC World Rugby Sevens Series after the men's team beat France 27-5 and the women's recorded a 24-7 win over Canada. This was yesterday. In cricket news, stumps on the day 3 of the fourth and final test between South Africa and England. They saw the visitors set up a 466-run target for the Proteas at the Wanderers in Johannesburg. Staying with cricket, on Saturday, the South African women's cricket team claimed an emphatic 7-wicket win over hosts New Zealand in the first one-day international in Auckland. News just in is the Proteas beat hosts New Zealand by 8 wickets in the second ODI this morning to take 2-0 lead in the series. And in netball, the South African netball team, they suffered a narrow 63-65 third-place playoff. It's a loss to host hosts England in the Vitality Netball Nations Cup, while 2019 Netball World Cup winners New Zealand, they beat Jamaica 67-56 to win the trophy. In basketball legend Kobe Bryant, he has sadly been killed in a helicopter crash in the Calabasas. This is out in California. Bryant was a 5-time NBA champion, and he played his entire 20-year career with the LA Lakers. His 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, was also aboard the helicopter, and 9 people have lost their lives in this tragic accident. That's where we leave it for this morning. Here's a final look at your traffic.
Thank you so much, Debbie. So let's take a final look at what's happening on the roads. If you find yourself in KwaZulu-Natal, Ashburton, on the N3 westbound, there's a stationary truck after the Linfield Park interchange obstructing the left lane. So please do approach with caution this morning. In Gauteng, Johannesburg South, there has been an accident on the N3 northbound before Heidelberg Road. Major delays are expected from Leondale Road, so please use an alternative route this morning. And then lastly, on the Metro Rail region update, there's an extended travel time of approximately 60 minutes on all the train lines this morning. Now, this is due to the weekend resignating maintenance work, so please be patient while technicians attend to the problem. Let's take a final look at the weather with Kuthleos out at Gordons Bay Beach this morning.
The time is now 3 minutes past 8. It's time for us to have the final look at the weather. Now, all morning we've been asking you to share your sunrise pictures, and we've received quite a few. Thank you so much to the following people: Nancy Governor for your amazing sunrise from Umkomaz, and Estelle Jumat for your incredible sunrise picture from George, as well as Charmaine Kuna for your sunrise picture from Pretoria, and lastly JP Malaba for your beautiful skyline from Robertson. Thank you so much for your sunrise pictures. We absolutely love seeing them, so please make sure to keep them going, keep them flowing on our social media platforms. Now to have a look at the temperatures for the rest of South Africa, starting off in Polokwane. In Polokwane, thunderstorms can be expected with temperatures ranging from 16 degrees reaching a high of 28 degrees, and heavy rainfall from Mbombela at 16-23. If you're in Pretoria, expect a partly cloudy day with a high of 32 degrees and a low of 15, and high humidity for Johannesburg, which peaks at 30 today with a low of 15. Mahikeng 16-31, Klerksdorp 13-30, and Kimberley, the same as Klerksdorp, 13-30. And if you're in Bloemfontein, it's going to be a sunny day for you too, with a peak of 28 degrees and a low of 10 degrees. And a couple of showers for Richards Bay at a low of 18, reaching a high of 24. Pietermaritzburg expects temperatures ranging from 14 degrees, reaching a high of 22, and southwesterly wind of 22 kilometers an hour in Durban at a low of 19 and a high of 25. Now down to the Eastern Cape, starting off in Mthatha. The temperatures is 10 degrees, reaching a high of 23 degrees, and southwesterly wind of for Emondi with a low of 15, reaching a high of 22. Klerksdorp 9-25, and high humidity for Ebai with a low of 14, reaching a high of 22. Now if you're in George, it's a partly cloudy day with a low of 12 degrees, reaching a high of 20, and the lowest temperature in the country is Sutherland with a low of 8 degrees, reaching a high of 24. Make sure to keep covered up until the sun decides to show up. And if you're in Cape Town like myself, with the sun shining bright, the low is 15, with temperatures reaching a high of 21 degrees. And in Worcester, 10-26, Springbok peaks at 31 degrees this morning with a low of 14, and the highest temperature in the country is of course Appington for the past few days now, with a high of 33 degrees and a low of 16. That's your 8 o'clock weather roundup live from Gordons Bay. Stick around because there's more from me, Gutla Adams, reporting for duty.
Well, it looks like such a beautiful day to be out at the beach. I love that. That looks so nice.
Very beautiful day. But you know what's also beautiful?
What is?
To get in what's happening on the streets of Hollywood, Mzansi Hood.
Yes.
Time for your entertainment news.
Oh, yes. Well, it it is time for us to take a look at what's been happening in the world of entertainment. What a busy weekend, but of course some sad news as well. We have reported that Kobe Bryant obviously has passed away, and he is one of the best NBA players of all time. He is on his way to being obviously inducted in the Hall of Fame, and we know that 9 people were on board the aircraft when he did pass away. When that happened, there are no survivors. The crash remains under investigation as it stands, and of course Bryant often traveled by private helicopter from his home in Newport Beach to the Staples Center in downtown LA. And he and his daughter, Gianna, were on their way to the Mamba Sports Academy, where the teen was set to play in a basketball game and where he serves as coach. I don't know if you remember this, but in 2018, he won an Oscar for Best Animated Short Film for Dear Basketball. He is survived by his wife, Vanessa, and their daughters, Natalia, who's 17 years old, Bianca is 3, as well as 7-month-old baby, Capri. And our thoughts are with the Kobe family and their loved ones during this very heartbreaking and tough time in the lives of, obviously, the minds and hearts of all of those who lost their lives. Now, we also did report in the news that the popular carpool karaoke segment often produces great viral moments. We've seen many of them playing out. Previous guests include Lady Gaga, Ed Sheeran, Celine Dion, Adele, and even Michelle Obama. Now, the Late Late Show segment sees James Corden pick up a musician or a band and then drive them around LA while singing songs by the famous Passenger. After the initial video was shared on social media, which you're seeing, a couple of other Twitter users posted their own photos and videos showing James and pop star Justin Bieber filming while being pulled by a tow rig, shaking fans' belief in the authenticity of the bit. But an official statement was released from the Late Late Show. They explained that Corden always drives during the sing-along segment, okay? But on the rare occasion, when there is a stunt component and the producers feel that it might be unsafe to drive, they will usually then use a tow rig, which makes sense for safety concerns. Several fans have since shared their videos and photos from past carpool karaoke segments shoots, confirming that James Corden does indeed usually drive while filming. Okay, so for all of those fans who were so shook and in complete disbelief for the fact
It's showbiz, baby. You've got to give the people what they want.
Sometimes you've got to create for the people what they want. And for safety as well. But Nasty C, young guy from South Africa, young popular rapper, he's been rubbing shoulders. My friend. I mean, we grew up together. Okay, no, we didn't grow up together. But he's been... But he's been rubbing shoulders with more than Justin Bieber and Hailey Steinfeld at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He also recently posted a picture with American artist Post Malone in Japan. Now, the rapper recently celebrated 10 million YouTube views on his single SMA with Rolene. Now, the song is from his Strings and Bling album, which he has gone on to reach triple platinum status, and it won him Best Hip Hop Album at the Summers in 2019. So he's doing really, really well. He's going and just, I mean, you know, he's making such big international moves.
I have to say first, when I saw this picture, I thought it was Photoshop because he was like right in front.
Yeah.
And then I went to the comments and I actually saw people repost it, like retweeted on Instagram, like Justin Bieber, I think, retweeted it. And I was like, yes, put us on the map.
I thought it was Photoshop too. I mean, if you look at the picture, you can see everybody's like so nice and well lit. And then he looks like he's not like as lit, right? But that's not the case. We're not examining the authenticity of the picture.
No,
we're just saying, at first you can't believe it, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Listen.
Nasty C is out there.
He's putting us out on the map. Awesome. Now you wish that you were friends with him from Hammanskraal, right?
I am friends with him. I just didn't grow up with him in Hammanskraal. We're tight like that. We rub shoulders all the time when he's in South Africa. Big ups to you, Nasty C. Have you seen any interesting entertainment stories that are worth sharing? Why don't you go out and let us know on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Right now, though, Shocking Pink. They're on standby to perform for us The Prayer. Take it away, ladies.
In time so we'll find torment and and on the soul to love. Let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer. Just like any child. Just like any child. We to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. Elephant and camp, high arches sogno. Sento che ci
Sensational! Sensational!
Beautiful angelic voices from our Shocking Pink right here from Micklefield School in Rondebosch. Now, when we return, we are continuing the conversation about moving in together with relationship expert Shirley Lewin. So don't go anywhere. Fill up on those cups. We'll see you in a moment.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. It's a Monday and we're talking all things relationships this morning. And today the relationship architect, Shirley Lewin, is in the hot seat to help us discuss what couples should consider when they want to move in together. We'd love to hear your questions and comments, so head on over to our Facebook page, drop a comment on this post and we will engage with you. Now, we already have a comment that came through for you this morning, and that comes from Gif. She says, I don't think there's a perfect time for such, just as there isn't a perfect time to get married, but when two adults decide to make an adult decision that makes them happy, that's it. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Yes, there's something you touched on earlier.
The key word there is adult decision. That it's two adults agreeing to take our relationship forward to the next step. It's not seen as something that way we can save some money, you know. That it's the larger picture there is that we get along, we love each other, we're enthusiastic, we want this, we're excited about this. It's not, oh, I'm under financial pressure, there's a rush, let's do this.
Let's talk about that though, because a lot of times we see couples move in together to try and solve problems beforehand and thinking, you know what, when we move in together, it might solve problems, maybe financially or maybe just catfighting. What is your take on that?
So any issues that you have will only be magnified and intensified when you're living together. So if there's trust issues in the relationship, for example, someone might think, oh, good idea, let's move in and then I've got my eye on you. When actually, if you've got trust issues in the relationship and you think that living in together the best way to solve that. Essentially, what you're doing is becoming a surveillance officer, and your partner is going to feel like they're living with someone who's what you're doing, where you're going, the intensity of that is going to increase. So it's not a way to fix issues. They have to be resolved first before it's not going to fix them.
Absolutely, but it also all comes down to communication. I mean, it's about speaking before the time, right? But you also, like you were saying, problems magnify once you're living in. How do couples then navigate around that situation? Because obviously you're now in each other's space maybe 24/7. If I hate the fact that you're leaving your socks everywhere, how do you then say, you know what, Boo-Boo Kitty, it is time for you to pick up your socks?
Well, I think that being assertive is very helpful instead of it building resentment, underlying resentment, so the skillful communication. And also that you are adult about this. You know, this is a project. It's like we are two humans who are now going to figure out how to live together well. And people bring their assumptions about what's normal and appropriate. So what's normal is, for example, we save all plastic and we save tinfoil and we don't throw anything away. That might be normal for one person. The other person throws everything away. I don't want collecting, hoarding, collecting junk, chuck it, chuck it, chuck it. So you've got two very fundamentally different ways of living and styles. And what can happen is it can become about my way is better and no, my way is better. Who's right? My way, your way, my way, your way. When actually it's not about your position, it's about the need underneath. What is it about the behavior? You want to negotiate your needs so that you can find a new way, our way, a third way, or even a new way. Maybe we should recycle then. Maybe, you know, maybe we can save and we can chuck some stuff. Which are the things we save? Which are the things we chuck? So it's about having communication, understanding the need that's driving the behavior, and then negotiating that. My way, your way, our way, a new way.
Definitely. Interesting conversation to have. We're going to continue this conversation with part 2. But for now, we are just going to be chatting all things. Maybe if you don't want to move in together, and maybe you want to take a holiday, Uncle Tabiso finds out how you can do that.
Oh, yes, and if you're looking to take the holiday, what better place to start than Imagine Cruising? Today, Imagine Cruising, they take us on an enchanting cruise around Lake Garda and the Mediterranean. Of course, we have Imagine Cruising's travel maverick, Josie Everly, joining us to share some top tips and tell us more about this exciting cruise. Good morning. It's so good to have you here.
Thanks,
so, Josie, I believe we're traveling around the famous Boot of Italy. It's another country I'm sure that you're familiar with. All the coastal gems are over there in this wonderful country. But the start of this cruise is a bit special, isn't it?
It is a bit special. I mean, I think any trip to Italy is really special, and I was really lucky to be there actually around the same time in April last year. I think this one is amazing because you get to start in Lake Garda, which we've mentioned is actually the biggest lake in all of Italy, and it's the most scenic. You've definitely seen the pictures before. It's so beautiful.
I mean, it's so picturesque. It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So you begin there and you've got a nice sort of 3-night stay to really just experience Italian life at its absolute finest. But with this, what I really enjoy about this cruise is that you then also get to experience other places like Milan, Genoa, Naples. So it's like ticking all the sort of Italian big ticks for me there. And then the best thing about it is while you're cruising, you also get to experience a second country as we zip over and check out Croatia. Split specifically, So I think you're getting like a 2-for-1 deal here. And I mean, Split is so beautiful.
Oh, man, look at that.
Hot on the travel list for 2020 Croatia as well.
So yes, definitely. It gives you a great overview of Italy, but you do get to have a taste of Croatia along the way. It's from just 24,999 Rand, which is absolutely unbelievable for an inside cabin. It's an excellent value for money, this. It's a great opportunity, but it's a great price. Tell me about the magnificent Costa Mediterranea, your ship for this journey.
Well, I think it's all in the name. You've said it there, Costa Mediterranea. As the name implies, this is the perfect vessel to do this kind of itinerary with.
Look at it.
It's so beautiful. I think obviously as you're exploring a little bit of the Mediterranean and that sort of Italian heritage, a lot of the stuff on board is sort of linked to that sort of Baroque, very Italian feel. So you've got a lot of that coming through, and then you've obviously got beautiful pools. I mean, big statues on the pool. Can you picture us there? I can.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
man,
ready.
I can
I'm ready.
see us sipping nice cocktails, taking it in, swimming, walking around, dancing.
I'm there already. For the foodies, there's a lot on offer as well. And as I said, just like slight sort of tastes that just really let you know that you're sort of in this whole Mediterranean world with piles on offer. Fitness centers, great food options. It's all there, and it's catered to make your holiday really special.
That is really amongst some of the best things about this particular cruise, is that there really is something for everyone, and every day is not the same. Every single moment you're spending on there is a new world of experience and opportunity.
Exactly.
Which is absolutely fantastic. Well, Josie, you are still here. We're definitely going to be chatting about more of these. This is definitely a trip that you want to be seeing. It's rich in culture. Whether you're on sea or land, you will be visiting a handful of great Italian cities, including Venice and Milan, as well as a stop along Croatia. But of course, you also get to travel in the plush surroundings of that lovely Costa ship. And this wonderful holiday in April can be yours for a starting price of 24,999 Rand for an inside cabin, 26,999 Rand for an outside cabin, and 27,999 for a balcony. You can book it now by calling them. They're on standby to take your phone calls, 0861 777 247. That's 0861 777 247. Stay tuned to find out about all these places, as well as the beautiful city of Split on the Dalmatian coast. And you don't want to miss any of it. Jersey's going nowhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful people, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso on this beautiful Monday, the start of hopefully what's going to be an amazing week unfolding and rolling out. Thank you so much for choosing to start this week off with us. Now, Kuhle Adams is still at Gordons Bay. It's a beautiful day. It looks amazing. You want to take it all in. It's time for us to check out a surf report with Taryn King.
We're continuing our conversation on Beach Report with South Africa's surf champion Taryn King this morning out here at Gordons Bay Beach. She's going to be telling us about the conditions for the rest of the week in and around Cape Town, and also any upcoming surf events. So Taryn, we're going to start off first with this. In terms of surfing, what's happening in and around Cape Town?
So we've been through quite a flat spell the last couple of weeks with strong southeasterlies and very little swell, and towards the end of the week we're actually getting a really strong swell coming through with light winds in the morning, followed by stronger winds in the afternoon, which will make for perfect surfing conditions.
And in terms of the weather and the wind?
Yeah, so the wind, I mean, like I said, the wind's going to be light in the morning, so you might get some glassy morning sessions, followed by a little bit of a stiffer southeasterly in the evening, so good for a nice downwind or some kiteboarding.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then for surf events, are there any upcoming surf events this week?
We've got the Red Bull King of the Air holding period coming up from the 1st to the 16th of February, which you see the 24 top kiteboarders in the world come to Table View to try and do the biggest air and be crowned the Red Bull King of the Air champion.
That's so exciting. Are you taking part?
No, I won't be taking part, but I will definitely be watching.
Okay, so earlier on you had a surfboard, and then I'm seeing something a little different with the paddling thing.
Yes, so as you can see, I mean, like I said before, Gordons Bay needs pretty big swell to be breaking, so today makes for perfect SUP conditions, nice and flat. The tide is going out, but no wind, so it's a beautiful day to go paddle.
So is this how we are ending our Expresso morning
We're going
at
for a
Gordons
paddle.
Bay? Or you are going, and I'm just going to help you push it onto the ocean.
We'll get you in the water one day.
Okay, cool, let's do it.
Cool, awesome.
I'm going to try my best to make myself useful, although... Okay,
you can carry my paddle into the water.
It's so heavy. Tyron, oh my gosh. Okay, cool, let's do it.
Cool.
Listen, man, it's been a fantastic morning here at Gordons Bay Beach, but unfortunately we have to wrap it up with our South African surf champion, Taryn King. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Have fun.
Yes.
I hope that you guys are having a fantastic morning too. Oh.
Well, for this particular holiday we're talking about, you're not going to be walking into the ocean. You're going to be cruising on such a majestic cruise ship. And we're back with Josie Everly, Imagine Cruising's roving ambassador, who's been telling us a lot about the enchanting Lake Garda stay at the Mediterranean cruise, of course, which sounds like a magical experience for anyone. Definitely a European cruise with a difference, and you want to be on it. It's got a starting price of just $24,999. This holiday is a bit of a steal, let's be honest. You can book it right now by calling them. They're there waiting to take the phone calls on 0861 777 245. Okay, so Josie, you've already got my appetite buzzing in terms of that. We skimmed over the destinations on the cruise, but we could easily spend all day just talking about all the amazing things and to experience and to explore. Let's start at the beginning with Lake Garda, the stay there, okay? That place sounds like it is out of this world. I mean, when we looked at the pictures earlier as well, that just sold it for me.
I think that is probably one of the most special things about this is that you start there for 3 nights. So that's how the journey sort of begins. You get 3 nights there at a beautiful hotel, Villa Maria. It's on the sort of southern part of the lake, so incredible, easy for walking and exploring. There's lots on offer, and you can take a little day trip. So there's, you can actually get to a beautiful island where there's this neo-Gothic little villa. It's a boat ride, a boat trip away. And then there's also a little town that you can visit, which is a bus trip away called Simeon. And that's really incredible. It also has this incredible castle, Scaligero Castle, which dates back to the 13th century. One of the best preserved castles in all of Italy. So well worth a little day trip and an adventure. But for me, you're on Lake Garda. You want to kick back. You want to be in the lounges. You want to relax. What's that Italian saying? Dolce finita. Just enjoying the joy of doing nothing. So, for me, I think that's where you begin. From there, you head to Venice.
Yes.
To Venice.
I love that element of it because it just takes it to a new level altogether.
I think this is great for the romance. We're chatting about some dating tips behind the scenes there. I think this is one of those really, really famed romantic places. Venice is one of the things you have to see at least once in your life.
Look at it.
Here you get 2 incredible nights as well at a hotel stay at the Hilton Garden Inn. Perfect, right next to the town centre, so nice for sort of exploring. And Venice is one of those places that you can really just explore on foot. It's so easy. You've got to do things like St. Marco's, the Piazza, and the Basilica. So that square is really, really famous. There's obviously the Bridge of Sighs. You've got to do the gondola ride. All of those things are
That's
part
iconic,
of it. So I think that's really exciting. And then we basically go from there and we head towards Split. So we see the Dalmatian coast for the first time. And for me, I think this is really exciting because you get to see it from that, you know, from the side, from the sea out, which is half the beauty. Split is really, really incredible. It has so much on offer. This whole place really becomes very lively in the evening. When you are there, there's a few sort of non-negotiables in my book, which include Diocletian's Palace. There's a little fisherman's village, which is really quaint, and the sort of cobbled streets take you right to the centre where there's just restaurants and coffee shops and sort of just all of this sort of ancient vibe. So Diocletian's Palace, obviously the former home of an emperor. So steeped in history and incredible to see. And the adventure doesn't stop there because from sort of exploring Split and seeing the Dalmatian coast, we then sail south right.
You're heading south.
Yeah, heading south to sort of South Italy and the coast, where we get to enjoy Naples. Naples for
Josie.
me. Yeah. Listen, do you like pizza?
Yes, who doesn't?
Birthplace of pizza, that's Naples. It's got a lot of vibe. A lot of people try and put you off because a lot of sort of people say it's a little bit dirtier than a lot of other places like Rome and stuff. For me, Naples packs so much vibe, and you really do get to feel a lot more local than sort of a tourist.
Yes.
So this is a good one for me, and it doesn't stop there. So from Naples and having your best pizza of your life in Naples, you get to head to Genoa, which is where you disembark, and that's the port city. But from there, we whisk your way to Milan, which is obviously the fashion
capital of the world.
You got to save your best outfit for that night, I think, and you get an awesome hotel night stay there. You've got to see the Duomo, which is one of the most famous in the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful Galleria, one of the most famous and most iconic shopping centres.
Yeah.
Look snazzy, soak up that vibe, incredible food, Italian heritage at its finest. Milan is just the perfect end note.
You literally feel like you've stepped into a really big movie set going into each and every single one of these stops, because every single one of them is one picturesque, lending themselves to so many picture opportunities.
Big time. Instagram's going to blow up, I'm telling you.
I think you might actually just want to log out of Instagram because keeping up with all of those likes might prove a bit difficult. What are some of your highlights? So from just mentioning all of these different stops, what are the key things that you've absolutely got to do that other people might not necessarily be up for?
Okay, for me, I think it's definitely going to be Venice. Venice is one of those places that is just, you've got to see. It's so romantic and incredible. And then Naples, surprisingly for me, I was blown away by that place. I wasn't expecting as much as I got from it, and
you got
it just, really rich in heritage. I think those are my two absolute musts.
I love that it's a combination of rich culture and history, but also at every stop you get to experience so much of the cuisine as well, which becomes so important.
Big part of it, of course.
It enriches the trip, you know what I mean? And you want to make sure that you take advantage of this, Josie. Thank you. But of course, you know, you are exploring so much here. You're going from beautiful, let's say, lakes in the Italian Alps to lavish arcades in one of the world's fashion capitals, which you don't want to miss. This is a trip that goes to some really unforgettable locations, and you can be checking these places out yourself. They're available for you to take from the price of $24,999, which gets you an inside cabin, or you can have an outside cabin for $26,999, or a balcony cabin for $27,999. But you can book it all right now by calling Imagine Cruising on 0861 777 245. That's 0861 777 245. You want to make sure that you take advantage of these amazing deals. Josie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Now, it's Monday and we're talking all things relationships. And today, the relationship architect, Shelley Lewin, is in the hot seat to help us discuss what couples should consider when they want to move in together. We'd love to hear your questions and comments. So head on over to our Facebook page, drop a comment on this post, and we would love to engage with you this morning. Now, Shelley Lewin, this is the big word, the F, finances, okay? How do you go about speaking about finances once you're moving in together? Should there be a list? Should there be rules? How do we speak about that if you plan on moving in together?
Well, I love that you said should, because there's no should specifically. For every couple is going to be different, and for some couples, it works to split it 50-50. For some couples, they pay proportionately depending on the amount of income that they earn. The crucial part is that they both feel right, that it's right and that it's fair. And it's this feeling of that it's fair to us both and that we're comfortable with it. And that can be something that you negotiate as you go. And if one person feels like I'm really doing my best, but it's actually I'm really struggling, we need to have this F-word conversation, you know. And if you aren't adult enough to talk about finances, then really you aren't adult enough to be living together.
Definitely. We have a few social media comments that came through. One of them is, I like Brandon, says, we're all different and all relationships are different. 1 month might be perfect for some couples and 1 year better for others. Yes. I don't think there's a right and wrong answer here, correct?
Absolutely.
The other one comes in from Martin. It says, it's never a good idea to move in together. You want to live with her, marry her. Yes, Martin, preach. Now, moving in together allows couples to enjoy and exhaust the benefits that come with marriage. By the time they get married, there's nothing exciting anymore. Let's keep the anytime sleepovers up and work towards a serious commitment, which is marriage. I do agree a little bit.
Okay.
Now, the next one comes through from Mkosi, says, we moved in together a month into the relationship. Shoo, moving fast.
Yes.
And 11 months later, my main issue is the gender roles mentality that he has. Other than that, I don't regret it.
Yes.
And then the last, which we discussed, correct? And then the last comment comes through from Jacques Adamon, says, me and my wife moved in together 3 months after we started dating. Well, today we are married for 8 years. So in my opinion, it's sometimes good to get to know each other first before getting married.
Yes, you know, some people don't live together well. And it's shown that it's definitely become more acceptable or more it's more of a trend. So from what I can understand, it's increased by, so unmarried couples cohabiting has increased by 900% in the last 50 years. Wow. So there's obviously a trend for it. And I think that the reason why, and I've seen it in my practice, is that some couples just don't live together well. And actually, when you're married and you realize, oh my goodness, how am I going to spend the rest of my life with this person? And I'll share with you an example where I had a couple who, for him, safety and being at home was a sacred space. And to feel safe and relaxed, he needed this clean, minimalistic home. Everything had its place. And what would happen is he'd come home and his wife was the exact opposite. She was creative, she was artistic, there was stuff everywhere, lying all over the place. And it used to make him, it used to put him into an absolute state. So he was resisting going home all the time. And they'd had conversations and fights and conversations and fights. We tried a couple of different strategies. He got his own room, his own space where he could have it clean and perfect and he could retreat to that place. They got a big basket where they would, if he saw anything lying around, he would throw things in the basket. So she had her place to mess everything and he could chuck everything in there and she had to clean the basket out once a week. So they tried to navigate their way around these things. But at the end of the day, the living together was such an awful experience for him specifically that he ended up not wanting to go home. And, you know, and that's just a small example how if you had stayed together and lived together, that they might have decided earlier that living together or getting married was not necessarily ideal. And that's just the essence of a person. Those are things that you can't really change. There are some things that you can't change.
And final, your closing, from your personal point of view, should you not?
I think that it is up to each person. that needs to figure out for themselves what's going to be best for them and aligned with who they are, their belief systems, their traditions, their culture, and what's going to be work for the couple. So it's up to the couple to decide going forward what's going to be best for them.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Shirley Lewin. It's been amazing having this conversation with you. We are continuing this conversation. Maybe next week, next time, you will tell us a bit more about it. But we loved having you in studio today, Shirley Lewin, on your Feel Good Breakfast show right here.
And maybe you don't want to move in together permanently. Maybe you just want to spend a couple of days exploring the world together and living together in a cabin. Welcome back. On today's show, Josie's been telling us all about the coastal delights of Italy, of course, and Croatia as well, on board the Costa Mediterranea. It's a cruise that departs on the 5th of April this year, and it costs just $24,999 for an inside cabin. That's just the start, but there's so much more to it. Okay, so, Josie, you get one full day at sea on this voyage. So you'll want to make the most of it. What can we expect to find on board?
Well, I think the Costa Mediterranea as a ship is just incredible. It's got so much to offer you. And as the name implies, it's a little bit themed. So you're going to get a little bit of sort of Baroque architecture and feel. So gilded statues, the pool's incredible. I mean, even the elevators are like works of art when you're inside here. But there's all sorts of stuff to keep you busy. So there's, Egyptian-themed theatre. There's a nightclub. That's where you'd be, I know.
Bring it on.
No, there's just so much. There's a jogging centre, there's a basketball court, there's amazing swimming pools, and there's a very famous Italian celebrity chef on board as well to really look after you. So, I mean, I don't think I can do any bit of a sales spiel than these photos can do. It's just incredible, and there is so much on offer.
It sells itself. Okay, so if you were to pick out a couple of highlights from this trip, what would they be? I mean, you've given us so many, but if you had to literally just throw in like some highlights, what would those be?
I think very obviously the biggest one would probably be Lake Garda, and starting there and having a few days to just really chill, kick back, relax, and have that beautiful scenery in a wild sort of space while still having that sort of Italian village feel about it. So I think Lake Garda is the obvious one.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose two, I'd probably say Venice. We spoke about it earlier, most romantic place for me on earth, often called the floating city. Just something that you've got to do in your life, really. It's incredible. So grab a gondola ride. Over 400 bridges over here in Venice. And the legend has it that every time you go under one, you've got a kiss. So, as I said, it's definitely going to help the romance in any situation.
Any case,
so that's really incredible. You've got to see the Bridge of Sighs. I mean, there's just, it's one of those must-haves. And then the final other highlight for me would probably have to be Split. I think Croatia is getting a lot of love at the moment in terms of a travel hot destination for 2020, especially for South Africans. And Split is incredible. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of our Cape Town promenade. This place really comes to light. At sort of in the evening, the vibe comes up. All the restaurants sort of face towards the sea and the Dalmatian coast, and it's just from the palace to being able to explore the sort of cobbled streets. There is just so much vibe. It's incredible.
It is unbelievable, and it's so beautiful. I even want to cry almost just looking at these visuals.
Don't cry. Just pack your suitcase. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, 24,999. I can make that happen. I must just think about it for the next 5 minutes. But this is absolutely sensational. Josie, say it with me. Sensational. And you want to make sure that you're on this. It is so fascinating. It is so diverse. There's so much to take in. And it sounds like there's something for everyone, whether you're traveling as a couple on a romantic getaway, or if you're going on with a group of friends. And you can do that.
Families, friends.
Yeah. And I think people can definitely get in touch with Imagine Cruising to find out about those group packages as well. Go and tailor-make this an absolutely amazing experience. Josie, thank you so much. You really have taken me and the viewers traveling to there, and now it's just about making sure we're actually literally there and physically there. It's such a fascinating and diverse holiday. Beautiful lakes in the Italian Alps, Roman palaces in Croatia, and of course opulent arcades in one of the world's fashion capitals. What more could you ask for? Let's not forget Venice, where many people call the most beautiful city in the world. You could be enjoying these destinations yourself, and I really want to get involved. In April this year, departs on the 5th. You want to make sure you're on it from the starting price of $24,999 for an inside cabin, $26,999 for an outside cabin, and $27,999 for a balcony. No matter what of those three options you choose, you will be in for a treat. Think of all those really once-in-a-lifetime experiences, riding on gondolas, seeing Mount... there's a lot. Naples, eating gelatos on the stylish streets of Milan. Book it now by calling 0861 777 245, and you will not regret it. Thank you, Josie.
Thank you.
Together we will fly. Just relax, it's just us two. Just do you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to your feel-good breakfast show right here on SABC3. I don't know why I'm singing.
Yeah, drop the bars.
Drop the mic. Hey, we should start a band.
Oh, we should. We should.
It should be called.
What would we call it?
Stunning Pink Ensemble.
Stunning Pink. Yeah, that works for me. But we've loved having morning out here on the show with Shocking Pink Vocal Ensemble. We've also been inspired to test our own knowledge of pink and see if we can identify a series of celebs who have been iconically recognized for their pink hair. So let's see the first one and see if we know our celebs with pink hair. I don't know if I remember, but let's see. First celebrity. Oi. Hey, I know who that is.
Who that?
I think I know. Nicki Minaj?
I'm gonna say Rita Ora. Oh, yay!
Hey, I'm Nicki Minaj.
She's gone lighter though, that's why I didn't know.
Let's see our second celebrity.
That is...
I know! I think I know! You know? I know.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry, yeah, right?
Yay!
Yay! We're smart.
We're very smart.
Okay, our third celeb is... Yay!
Yay!
Do you know?
1, 2, 3.
Pink! And... Yay!
We're very smart.
Do we have one more?
Do we have one more?
So next one. Wait.
Yes! We know. Come.
I don't know, you know.
1. Zayn Malik.
Malik! No? Yeah!
Yes.
I don't know, but
I just saw the sideburn.
Okay, let's see who our next celeb is. Yeah, I think I know. 1, 2, 3. Jamie Lee Dombolo!
She's not a celebrity though. Who is she?
She's our celeb. She's our own homegrown celeb. My own celeb. You're my celeb, Jamie Lee Dombolo.
Okay.
Do we have one more?
Next we're gonna do for you. We're gonna do you. We can maybe... Why don't we make your hair
No,
pink
ma'am.
for
No,
the
ma'am.
sunmates?
No, ma'am. Let's not do that. But what we can do is delve into one more performance from Mickfield School's vocal ensemble. They're here with a classic. It's a big one. You are going to love it. It's sensational. It's called "We Are the Champions" by Queen. Take it away, ladies. Yes, ladies.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Take a bow, curtsy.
Take a bow, ladies. Yes, that was fantastic. Well done, ladies. Give yourselves a round of applause. You deserve it. Yeah, well done. They are amazing. Shocking pink here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Hopefully that's made you feel all kinds of good this Monday, and hopefully that just carries you and us throughout the week. Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Absolutely, loved having them.
But of course, yeah. We've reported on a bit of a sad story. In fact, not a bit of a sad story, a hugely sad story with the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter alongside other people who were on board the helicopter. The investigation is still ongoing, and news reports are coming in at the moment now saying that dense fog is likely to be the center of investigation. At the moment, nothing is concluded yet, but that is still ongoing. 9 people were obviously on board, and he's really one of the best NBA players of all time that we've known. He was on his way to being inducted in the Hall of Fame. 9 people on board the aircraft, so unexpected, no survivors. And yeah, so we really do send our thoughts and our prayers to his family and the families of all of those involved in this crash.
It's very sad. I remember a few years ago when Aaliyah died, also in a crash. People just mourned it, and all over social media, you could see how people, sports players, actors, actresses from all over, from Hollywood, even South Africa, reached out to the family to share their thoughts and sympathies with them in this time. Because I mean, losing a child and a partner in this must be devastating for his family.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got 3 children now. He's survived by his wife and 3 children. But of course, he often traveled by private helicopter from his home in Newport Beach beach to the Staples Center, which is in downtown LA. Him and his daughter were actually on their way to the Mamba Sports Academy, where the daughter was set to play in a basketball game, where he serves as a coach. And in 2018, he had won an Oscar for Best Animated Short Film for Dear Basketball. And like I said, he's survived by his wife, Vanessa, and their daughters, Natalia, who's 17 years old. He's got Bianca, who is 3 years old, and a 7-month-old baby, Capri. So it is a totally heartbreaking time. We did get a comment, actually, from Barack Obama, and this is what Barack Obama said. He said that Kobe was a legend on the court and just getting started in what would have been just as meaningful a second act. To lose Gianna is even more heartbreaking to us as parents. Michelle and I send love and prayers to Vanessa and the entire Bryant family on an unthinkable day. Yeah.
Never a good time.
So, R.I.P. Kobe. Oh, that's sad. Okay, well, look, more feel-good coming your way tomorrow, though. We do this all over again from 6 till 9. What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow's going to be a good day because the Opera Angels perform right here in studio. Now, it's also Fitness Tuesdays with Cindy Abrams. She's going to give some boxing,
our fave. Oh, yeah.
which we're going to need because I feel like sometimes boxing you. But, of course, we talk about all things health as well. Tuesday health, meningitis.
Why do you want to box me sometimes?
Sometimes you just, too much. But I love you so much. I love you so much.
So, yes, do join us tomorrow. It's been a fantastic one. Thank you so much to our guests that have come through. Shelley Lewin, what an interesting conversation on relationships. Thank you so much to Shocking Pink. You guys have been absolutely fantastic today. Wave at the viewers at home.
Hi,
yes, guys. And yeah, thank you so much to all of our guests. And I think, imagine cruising. Oh, I'm already looking to plan my trip, my next trip. And I think it might easily just be on a cruise ship. Did you see those visuals?
Listen, I'm going with you. I'm packing in your bag.
No, I'm not coming with you so you can box me. You're not coming in.
We'll do this all over tomorrow. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.